This Game Day update is sponsored by Mutual Federal, proudly serving Columbus with personal and business solutions at mutualfederal.com.
And I'm Cole Bartemus. We're counting down to Big Noon kickoff where your top-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes will welcome a beleaguered Penn State team to the shoe. We got pregame coverage right here on the Fan leading all the way up to Paul and Jim's call of the game. Also at noon, number 9 Vanderbilt will be in Austin taking on number 20 Texas. Vanderbilt's only got 1 loss in the season while Texas has 2, so if they lose to the Commodores today, they're done for good. We got 2 other ranked matchups today going on. Josh Heupel's 14th ranked Volunteers will host his alma mater in number 18 Oklahoma, and that'll be a battle of 6-2 teams at 7:30. And way later at 10:15 this evening, number 17 Cincinnati will be in Salt Lake as somewhat heavy underdogs against number 24 Utah. All the rankings that you've seen here today are temporary. This is the final week of prioritizing the AP poll. On Tuesday night, we'll be giving our first dose of the CFP rankings.
Do you smell it? The fine aroma of a soon-to-be Buckeye victory and Rothman searing his brat. Intoxicating. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Tailgate Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Curtis & Associates. Remember, they don't get paid unless you get paid. And by Mountain Dew. Here for the good times. Do the do.
Live from Fan Fest, here's Tim May, Dave Biddle, and Anthony Rothman.
And great to have you back with us on campus. 7 down, 5 to go. Regular season for Ohio State. The number 1 Buckeyes prepare to defend the shoe again against Penn State. I am Anthony Rothman with my boys Dave Biddle and Tim May. Good morning, fellas.
Good morning, Anthony. How you doing? Tim, how you doing?
I'm doing extremely well. Got here way too early, thinking there was going to be a big traffic jam. Then I remembered Penn State had lost 4 in a row, but I sat there and stewed in my car before finally coming down here and getting with the program.
You gotta hype yourself up to pay that $40 parking garage ticket, but they will do it today. And you got Big Noon here today, and Big Ten Tailgate is down there as well, and Fan Fest. And I agree with you that it feels like the setup tells me they thought and believed this was going to be a massive game this year.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got obstructed view in front of us.
It's really funny, though, because I just walked by this Evan Williams. I don't know if you're allowed to say that bourbon place. They were at South Carolina last week when me and my baby brother Tony, who will turn 68 soon, we're down visiting. And I said, I'll see you guys. They said, I'll see you guys next week. And there they are. So it's a traveling caravan. We had free Coca-Cola samples. You got those here today. I mean, what more can you ask?
They are they're set up, man. The Fan Fest, the tents are popping up everywhere here.
It's quite the scene down here every time. It's just a party down here. I mean, everybody knows that who's been down here. But if you've never been down here for an Ohio State game, I mean, just even if you don't have a ticket, come down and just soak in the festivities. You're right. It's not really hopping yet. It will be within the next hour.
You know what's cool? Is it the same band every week, by the way, over here?
No, I think they switch it up.
Because they have the most quality bands playing here every weekend. It's pretty cool.
I think it's mostly local cover bands who do a really good job.
I don't know. It seemed like your fingers would be hurting on those frets when it's like 37, 38 degrees, though.
Man, you got the gloves on today, which is smart.
I'm 71 years old, man. My hands get cold.
Man, I mean, I'm telling you, this will get you.
We need to bring the energy here.
I have gloves on the reserve, guys. I find it interesting. Like Scotty and I were talking earlier this week. So the line came out at 20.5 Ohio State. We're thinking that's going to get ticked up. It's gone the other way. It went down to 19.5. Last I checked, it was down at 18.5. So interesting. The money's coming in on Penn State now. That could change today. Some sharps could obviously put money on Ohio State, and that could change quickly. But I do find it interesting, guys, because I agreed with Scott. I was thinking it was going to tick up, and it's ticked the other way.
I think the money's coming in on the spread, though. You know, I mean, when you're still what I'm saying.
Right. But you know what
right.
You know what I mean.
But here's the thing. I mean, Ryan Day's been saying it all week. Maybe people are listening. This is a very talented team. Ohio State's going against. It's on a 4-game slide. Less than 2 touchdowns. They'd be undefeated right now, but they're not. Fired their coach. Their starting quarterback for those many years. Drew Aller is no longer available because of injury. And, they had a lead at Iowa a couple weeks ago and then blew it under Terry Smith, his first game as a head coach. So you're kind of wondering what kind of Penn State team's coming in here. And I had somebody say to me yesterday on some radio show, it wasn't Rothman's, but worried about Ohio State being rusty. I said, well, Penn State had last week off too,
Right.
So
one thing that makes them dangerous, I think, in addition, of course, being talented, is we know Penn State has a ton of talent. Even like losing Allen, they lost a really good linebacker, so they have had a couple of major injuries.
Correct.
Even that, they still are very talented. What also makes them dangerous, in my opinion, they're now playing with a nothing-to-lose attitude. They look like a different team against Iowa, and that was with local product Ethan Grunkemeyer making his first start, throwing for less than 100 yards. They really leaned on Katron Allen, which I think is smart. I've always thought he was better than Nick Singleton. Terry Smith must feel the exact same way. So you have a talented team that kind of has everybody's written us off, and rightfully so. They know they're not playing for any type of championships now. Talented team that's playing with nothing to lose. It'll be interesting. And the Grunkemeyer story,
they gave up a come from behind win to Iowa though.
But Iowa's good. That was at Kinnick.
I know, but we're talking about, they had Iowa kind of going, and then they, defensively they gave up, and then they kind of disappeared offensively in the fourth quarter especially. So I'm not sure what kind of Penn State team is rolling in here.
The Grunkemeyer story is interesting because not just him being a local product from Olentangy, making his second career start for the team he grew up rooting for. His mom played basketball for Ohio State.
That's right.
Which I was not aware of till this week. That's a really, really cool story. He grew up going to Ohio State games. Ohio State didn't offer, so he went to Penn State. So the last 3 starting quarterbacks at Penn State, all from the state of Ohio.
Yeah,
Sean Clifford, Drew Aller, and now Grunkemeyer. So very, very cool. So we'll see. This is a tough way for him to make his second start. Not that at Kinnick Stadium is a great way to make your first start, but this Ohio State defense is not good. They're elite. And I know they have not really played a good offense yet, but I'll be surprised if we don't look back on it at the end of the year and say, that was the best defense.
Yeah, but you're glossing over their last 3 quarterbacks are from Ohio, and what has been their success rate against Ohio State with quarterbacks from Ohio.
I'm not glossing over
a lot of people,
it's just so obvious.
A lot of people like to throw in there guys that Ohio State let get away or overlooked and stuff,
right.
And that really hadn't brought the magic for Penn State in games against Ohio State.
No one at Ohio State, if you're a Buckeye fan, is complaining about Ryan Day's ability to find quarterbacks.
Correct. If you got to go to Carlsbad, California, you go to Carlsbad, California.
Rancho Cucamonga. You go there.
Most accurate quarterback in the country is playing for the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Yeah, and listen, there's a respect factor for Penn State. The brand is there. The pride you assume playing the number 1 team in the country on the road. The opportunity is there for them. I keep coming back to that quarterback situation, the inexperience at quarterback, a redshirt freshman making a second start on the road in that building against that defense.
Yep.
Certainly if you're Ohio State, it's load up time against Katron Allen and make Ethan Grunkemeyer beat you, which we're not anticipating he can. Now, how they confuse him, the way they've confused other quarterbacks this year is yet to be seen, but that's where Ohio State has a massive advantage today. That defense versus a very inexperienced quarterback in that building. I think that tips the scales. Now, if he can tell the way they hang is the way most teams try to hang with Ohio State. Run the ball and keep the home runs limited and make Ohio State at least burn minutes while they're getting points and try to shorten the game the best you can. But if their offensive line and defensive line, they take the marching orders of if you can be more physical today or at least match physicality, then maybe they got a shot. If Katron gets it another – listen, he had a career high against Iowa, 28 carries.
Yes, and that's
he's about to break his career high maybe this week.
I always was surprised that James Franklin, when he was head coach, basically split carries evenly between Allen and Singleton, and Terry Smith takes over. It's like, boom, no, Allen's our guy.
And the position change.
And it makes a lot of sense because every time I watched Penn State, I was thinking, this guy's clearly better than that guy, meaning Allen's clearly better than Singleton, but they basically split carries. This new staff's like, no, this guy is clearly RB1, so that's something to keep an eye on. And Grunkemeyer his best attribute is throwing the ball, even though he had less than 100 yards. But he can run it. He's no statue back there, too.
Absolutely.
So they're going to have some QB runs mixed in. You're right, guys. They're going to try and just slow it down. I look for a lot of misdirection passes, fake a handoff maybe to Singleton on a sweep and then flip around and throw to a tight end. Misdirection but short passes, because I don't think they're going to have Grunkemeyer want to throw all over this. Try to throw it all over the secondary.
I'm pretty impressed that Biddle has thought all the way through this, exactly, the formula. The other thing is Ohio State Ohio State is very intent on getting the running game going, but as we talked about 2 weeks ago, remember at the casino, I brought the fact against Wisconsin, you go in there, do what you absolutely do best, which is throw the ball. Now, I didn't anticipate that NFL approach that Ohio State took on that first drive, especially. 8 plays, 7 of them passes, clickety-clack right down the track, touchdown. I think you do similar thing today against Penn State and their defense because, it's you want to give the other team all the credit you can, but Penn State is a team in a little bit of a death spiral right now, and I don't see it pulling out today. I know you really like Katron Allen, the Neutron Man, but it'll be a difficult task for Penn State to pull this off. Let me put it that way.
I think we all predicted on the show 2 weeks ago at the casino, Ohio State's going to open up the passing game today. I don't think any of us expected that. 36 of 42. I mean, Julian Sayin just
let it all hang out, man.
Unbelievable.
He's taken it to a whole nother level now because I think even before the season, most of us thought he was. First of all, we knew he was very talented. Then we had to see him in action. We had game action, and what we've seen now is. Not only when he has 5 minutes to throw, which this offensive line has done a great job for him, is that now he is throwing on the run. Now he is shifty in the pocket. Now he's finding passing. Like that's and he's not afraid. He's not forcing it. Hear me correct, not forcing it, but he knows that Carnell Tate can make the circus grab and high point a ball and back shoulder to a guy. And so his confidence is only getting bigger because the different styles of throws that he's been making.
I went back and watched some of his high school tape again over the week, and he's doing exactly what he was doing in high school. And that's what his high school coach told me, almost a year ago, that this guy, his capabilities, if you just give him the ball and let him create.
This is going to be a nice day for football. We have entered November, by the way. Happy birthday to my brother. Brian, November 1st, big birthday. Kickoff forecast brought to you by Sunbelt Rentals. See why the Columbus Builders building Columbus lean on green. We expect 50 nice degrees, 45 in the shade, though, at kickoff at high noon. We'll top out at 54, winds northwest about 10 miles an hour, maybe gust to 15. You guys want to know the dew point or the cloud ceiling or anything like that?
Yeah, we may have to get that Enduro
that Tomcat
drone
in the air or whatever.
Up in the air. Yeah, we may need to know something like that.
If you need that, I got it for you. We'll come
back. Is it
back.
icing condition?
The air quality?
Yes, exactly. Yes, I can give you the dew point if you want.
I love the dew point.
All right, we'll tease you with that. We'll come back and talk to the voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels, and set the stage for Ohio State and Penn State in the shoe. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Tailgate Show. Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Riverside Bank of Dublin Game Day Traffic Center.
Traffic volume is starting to pick up, but we are still moving accident-free out there. 315 both north and southbound getting just a little more crowded around the Lane Avenue and Ackerman Road exits. Lane Avenue is busy between High Street and Olentangy River Road. Olentangy has picked up some volume between Lane and Kinnear. Kenny Road also pretty crowded between Kinnear and Lane. With Game Day traffic, I'm Kate Burdett on the Fan.
All the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
My furnace stopped working. Your competition said it's fried. When I saw their cost to replace it, I could have just died.
We can give a second opinion, give you options and advice. We'll strive to earn your trust and make you a client for life.
Get a free second opinion. Replace or repair.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Hey Columbus, it's Lorenzo Stiles Jr., Ohio State student athlete. Football runs deep in my family. My dad played here, and now my brother and I are proud to carry on that tradition. At Monogram Homes, family matters too. They treat every homeowner like one of their own, building with care, precision, and pride. Monogram doesn't just build houses, they build homes, crafted just for you. So whether you're starting your first home or designing your dream space, Monogram Homes has got your back every step of the way. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building today. Monogram Homes, a builder you can trust.
Taking out the trash. Hey Columbus, this is Zach Bourne. And Jacoby Bourne. When it comes to waste service, you want a team that knows how to deliver under pressure, just like Saturdays in the fall.
At Bourne Brothers Waste Services, our team is built on toughness, teamwork, and consistent execution.
We're the most reliable and customer service-focused waste company in Central Ohio.
Whether it is recycling, trash, construction waste, roll-off containers, front loads, or compactors, we have it handled.
Call now or visit BourneBrothers.com and let us tackle your waste needs.
Taking out the trash.
What's better than cheering the Buckeyes on to victory? Wearing our exclusive collection of OSU jewelry as you watch. Hi, this is Alex Johnson from the Diamond Seller. We're an officially licensed jeweler of The Ohio State University, and we've created beautiful Buckeye jewelry that will last a lifetime. From Blanco earrings to Diamond Script Ohio necklaces, we've got luxury Buckeye gifts starting at $99. No matter where you're watching, show your Buckeye love at the Diamond Cellar, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hey, football fans, it's November in Ohio, and you know what that means. It's time to face that state up north in a battle to claim forgotten funds. Join us in the statewide challenge and visit com.ohio.gov/radio to help support Ohio's takedown of Michigan. The state with the most searches wins. Who knows? Unclaimed funds could help you buy a seat to the big game next year. Claim your money today at com.ohio.gov/radio.
Hi, I'm Laura De Leon, president of Key Bank in Central Ohio. At Key, we're all about helping our neighbors. As your bank, we understand that we have both the ability and the responsibility to help our neighbors thrive. Whether they're trying to buy a car to take them to their new job, or tackle debt that feels unmanageable, or simply trying to do more with what they have, Key Bank is there to meet them in that moment. Key Bank opens doors.
All credit products are subject to credit approval. Key Bank, member FDIC.
When it's 6 a.m. and you need a skid steer and you want to talk to an actual person about skid steers, lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. With the largest rental fleet and hardest working equipment experts in Columbus, we can help steer you to the right skid steer at the right price right now. Tracks or wheels, diesel or gas, light, medium, or heavy duty. Plus attachments for loading, grading, digging, drilling, tilling, and trenching. No wonder the Columbus builders building Columbus lean on green. Sunbelt Rentals. Learn more at sunbeltrentals.com.
Here's a stat that hurts. The average adult waits up to 2 years before getting help for joint or back pain. 2 years of sitting out. 2 years of missing the game. At Ortho Neuro, you don't have to wait. Our orthopedic and spine experts treat every joint issue, often without surgery, and we've got next day appointments ready. Don't sit on the sidelines another day. Schedule your consult now at orthoneuro.com. Ortho Neuro, for every motion in life.
Wake up and laugh with the Bob and Tom Show on the Fan 2.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10.
It says here they've won 5 Marconi Awards. I can't even spell Marconi. The Fan 2, Columbus's home of the Bob and Tom Show.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Cosby Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Bring the energy. It's game day, Buckeye fans. You're listening to the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Tailgate Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Curtis and Associates and Mountain Dew.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan. It's time for the Big Daddy Report with the voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels.
Sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Now together to serve you better. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
All right, welcome back to campus. Anthony Rothman, Dave Biddle, Tim May, and the voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels. Morning, Big Daddy.
Hello, fellas. Nice to have a home game, isn't it?
It really is. Got a little sun peeking through here. We're going to get into the 50s, so that'll be good. You know, Penn State interim head coach Terry Smith said, no one's giving us a chance. Ryan Day said this week this is going to be a war. Somewhere in the middle, there'll be a football game. Which side do you anticipate?
And Anthony, I guess that's not surprising that both coaches approached it that way. If you're Terry Smith, you've got to kind of look at it that way. And if you're Ryan Day, with what this team, meaning the Buckeyes, what they want to get to, they can't take anybody or anything lightly. And some of that is born out of the fact you look at the talent on the Penn State roster. Yes, they're without their starting quarterback, but you've got those 2 running backs. You've got a Denai Dennis Sutton, who's an NFL caliber defensive lineman. Certainly, there's the kind of talent that can play better. And really, if you look at their last game, they lost by 1 point. They really played well with a fractured offense. So, you can understand why both coaches approach it that way, Anthony.
Ryan Day was asked about Jim Knowles, at least publicly, the first time to my knowledge, Paul, and I thought he handled it really well. He was classy without being sunshine and roses. He said it left us in a bad spot, but he didn't bash Knowles or anything. I just found his comments very interesting.
And not surprising, Dave. That's just kind of how Ryan Day is with stuff like that. And I think everybody kind of has an idea of the undercurrent, what that was about, and then, the bad timing. But, there's also the part, do you want somebody to stick around that doesn't want to be there? So, and Ryan Day, to his credit, he's made some tough choices when he's had to make coaching changes, but he's also made good choices. And, the 1-year marriage with Chip Kelly obviously brought some great results. I think it's early on. It's easy to see what the Matt Patricia hire has done, but, coaching is a transient profession, and, that's going to happen.
I think the key word in his explanation and talking about the Jim Knowles situation was when he used the word abrupt. Because,
yes, agreed.
That pretty much put in context because, I think he and Ross Bjork were taken aback, would be another word, when the Jim Knowles agent approached them before the national championship game
about the week of the national.
And he also wanted to be, we understand, the highest paid defense coordinator in the country. I can understand going.
Absolutely.
I understand going for the brass ring, right? But the timing was off, et cetera. And like you said, he ends up with Matt Patricia. That's crazy to a certain extent now, looking back on it, isn't it, Paul?
It really is.
There's a guy that the NFL didn't want, last year.
And, there's a guy that works in our building that a few months ago, he came up with a great line that I've always remembered was something like this. What don't we know?
Yeah.
What happened, what's all part of it that nobody really knows. But, again, that's going to happen with people moving coaching positions, and it's been a great fit seemingly so far. And, the thing that Matt Patricia has done is he's told the story about when he first got here. He just sat back and watched what they had as far as individual talent with players, watched what the other coaches are doing, and then melded his work into what was already here. And I think that's a credit to Matt Patricia.
Yeah, and I give it up to Ryan Day for pursuing Matt Patricia and sticking with it. There might have been some pushback a little bit because, but it's really interesting with Chip Kelly. He wanted to be in the NFL a year ago, didn't get the offer he wanted, and then, boom, he hooks up with Ryan Day. Same kind of situation here with Matt Patricia, yet it's paid off. And like you said, the Kerry Combs hire back as a defensive coordinator was kind of a tough pill because that didn't work. And I think we've seen Ryan Day really grow as a head coach in that realm. Like you were talking about, his hires have been on point of recent.
Well, and we know that coaches are loyal to people they've worked with or they're friends with, and sometimes that comes back and bites you. And we've seen that happen here. But, that is one of the things that, and when you think about looking at Ryan Day's path, never had been a head coach before the 3-game interim stint that he had.
Yeah.
But I think Ohio State deserves a lot of credit, too, because they saw here's a guy that handled that, not just the 3 games, but that whole summer camp. Remember, Ryan had to be the head coach for all of it. And they obviously realized if they didn't put him in that position, somebody else would.
I also love what he said, Big Daddy, like when talking about the defense, is like the common denominator from last year to this year, those defensive coaches. And he said, and some of the players are the common denominator. And that's so true with Larry Johnson, James Laurinaitis, Matt Guerrieri, Tim Walton, all back. The entire defensive staff is intact except for Jim Knowles. And I think Matt Patricia was an upgrade. So, the common denominators are those excellent assistant coaches.
Well, and he didn't try and force a square peg in a round hole. It didn't have to be, this is my defense, this is my theory. It's make the best out of what's here and put them in the best position.
Yeah, and the other thing is Matt Patricia, like I've used this analogy, but he's got to come in and put sprinkles, like on a defense that was already pretty solid, on a staff that was extremely solid, guys who had played a lot, and now you add the Matt Patricia sprinkles to the thing, with the variable fronts and some of the other things that he's brought or not demanded but put in and stuff. And it's been very interesting because Ohio State was able to change from what it was a year ago. So it's not the same. You can look at Ohio State the way it played defense last year and get really nothing from it, except maybe from a personnel standpoint.
Well, and it certainly helps when you've got guys like Irv Ellis and Sonny Styles who've played multiple positions, and you can use them in multiple ways.
Correct.
Paul, do you feel that the real tipping point today is this elite Ohio State defense against a very inexperienced quarterback?
Anthony, it's easy to think that, and probably that's what it's going to be. What you don't know about with Penn State with a bye week that they had last week also, did they do some more things to get Ethan Grunkermeyer where he needs to be? And I'm curious to see, because having watched their game with Iowa, they had a stretch in like the second quarter and third quarter. They were shuttling quarterbacks on every other play. And Justin Smolik has not attempted a pass at all. Anytime he came in there, it was to run. Yeah. So will that kind of change? Is there a code breaker there? But I think a lot of it, too, is going to be what's Ohio State going to do running the football. That generally Penn State is very good against the run. And if you want to nitpick, you'd like to see Ohio State be more explosive running the football. Will we see some of that break loose today?
Yeah. Do you feel that the Knowles factor, and their defense has been decent, pretty good, top 30, I think, in a couple categories there. You think he has any type of inside slant to feel how he should play, or will he do what most teams have tried to do? Stack it, keep that shell, keep things in front of you.
If I had the answer to that, Anthony, I'd be down at Scioto Downs. I think what it's going to be is a combination of all of those things. But here's the other thing. I mean, I don't know what the status is of Tony Rojas, one of their really good linebackers. He's been out with injury. You think about the talent they lost from last year with a guy like Abdul Carter, who was a game-changing type of defensive player. But, they're going to do what they're going to do. But, and again, we listen too much to Ryan Day, and it's a good thing. But one of his favorite catchphrases, it's all about us. And, they're going to be ready for whatever Penn State might throw at them, but it's going to be their effort to try and get done what they need to do.
Yeah, Caleb Downs had a great line about that this week. He says, Coach Day always says, no matter what they're doing, no matter what kind of motion they're running, no matter what they put in there, eventually they have to snap the ball. Just kind of get lined up, etc. On Anthony's show this week, they had Ben Jones on from over at Penn State, covers Penn State and stuff, and he goes, it was kind of mysterious that there might got almost the indication they could be changing things offensively to a certain extent and trying to keep it secret, etc. I'm just curious what kind of offense could they come up with in 2 weeks that you think could maybe shell shock this Ohio State defense?
Well, and especially when you've got the two running backs they've got. I mean, they've got to be majoring in that. Those are outstanding running backs. Yes. So, that's interesting to think about that. But at this point, this deep into a season, even though you've got a bye week, what are you really going to drastically change?
Right. And the reason I asked you about defensive strategy, not that I know you're wearing a headset, but I know you're not calling the game, but for them. But I did want to ask, these defenses in predictable passing downs have not blitzed Ohio State all that much. How much will they risk? Because it is such a risk to do it.
You hit it right on the head, Anthony. It's with the receivers that are out there, with the tight ends and the production they've gotten out of there. But I think it's also the way the offensive line is protected is a big part of that as well. You leave yourself vulnerable with Jeremiah Smith, with Carnell Tate, with Brandon Ennis. So it's risk-reward.
Yeah, it is. All right, great stuff, my man. As always,
good to see you, fellas.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
All right, take care.
That is the voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels. That segment sponsored by the Waterworks Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, now together to serve you better. All right, when we come back, He's So Money. Who will shine in the shoe? Find out next. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Tailgate Show right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Riverside Bank of Dublin Game Day Traffic Center.
There are definitely a few more drivers out on the roadways right now, but nothing to slow you down too much. 315 north and southbound getting a little more crowded around the Lane Avenue and Ackerman Road exits. Once you're off the highway, you will find the crowds in the usual spots. That's Lane Avenue between High Street and Kenny Road, Kenny between Lane and Kinnear, Olentangy River Road also between Lane and Kinnear. And don't forget that Woody Hayes Drive is closed between Cannon and Tuttle Park. With Game Day Traffic, I'm Kate Burdett on The Fan.
Tailgates are better when your ride's rocking. Columbus Car Audio and Accessories upgrades your sound, tints your ride, and adds the extras to make your ride the ultimate game day machine.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Hi, this is Max with Buckeye Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Winter will be here before you know it, and that means it's time to get your heating and plumbing systems maintained. Our True Comfort membership is designed to keep things in tip-top shape. Thank you for letting us keep your home comfortable and plumbing worry-free. And when you need us,
call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Hey Columbus, it's Lorenzo Stiles Jr., Ohio State student athlete. It's football season, and just like on the field, success starts with the right game plan and the right team. That's why I'm proud to team up with Monogram Homes. They're the true custom home builder, bringing precision, creativity, and attention to every detail, just like we do on Saturdays. If you're ready to build, don't settle for standard. Go custom. Go Monogram. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building today. Monogram Homes, a builder you can trust.
If you haven't felt the rush of the holiday season, trust me, it's coming. Eric Reeser here. Get your body ready for all the tailgating and all the turkey at Hydrate Me Med Spa. They've got 4 convenient locations in Central Ohio offering medical-grade IV and aesthetic treatments to help you look and feel your best during the hustle and bustle. I dropped into their Dublin location for an ozone therapy treatment. They infused my blood with medical-grade ozone that gave me a much-needed energy boost and properly prepared my immune system to tackle cold days and crowded stadiums. Look great, feel great today. Book your drip at HydrateMeMedSpa.com.
Score big with Columbus Car Audio and Accessories. Sound, style, and upgrades for every ride. Visit us today and kick off this season the right way. Columbus Car Audio and Accessories. Drive it, show it, rock it.
Taking out the trash.
Hey Columbus, this is Zach Bourne.
And Jacoby Bourne.
When it comes to waste service, you want a team that knows how to deliver under pressure, just like Saturdays in the fall.
At Bourne Brothers Waste Services, our team is built on toughness, teamwork, and consistent execution.
We're the most reliable and customer service-focused waste company in Central Ohio.
Whether it is recycling, trash, construction waste, roll-off containers, front loads, or compactors, we have it handled.
Call now or visit BourneBrothers.com and let us tackle your waste needs.
Taking out the trash.
Hey, football fans, it's November in Ohio, and you know what that means. It's time to face that state up north in a battle to claim forgotten funds. Join us in the statewide challenge and visit com.ohio.gov/radio to help support Ohio's takedown of Michigan. The state with the most searches wins. Who knows? Unclaimed funds could help you buy a seat to the big game next year. Claim your money today at com.ohio.gov/radio.
Drive your dream car home today, no matter your credit history. Hey, it's Phil here at Capital Ford of Columbus and Whitehall. We proudly accept all credit types, good, bad, or none. Get pre-approved in minutes and hit the road with confidence. Get your new ride today. Call 614-861-7150 or shop our huge selection online at capitalfordofcolumbus.com. Your perfect ride is credit ready and waiting at Capital Ford of Columbus.
Hey, you mind keeping it down up there, please?
KeyBank will meet you in that I need new neighbors moment.
Rick, it's your mortgage loan officer, Beth. I was in the neighborhood and wanted to let you know your home loan application's been approved.
Beth, you're always there for me, and not a moment too soon.
Are your neighbors bowling with grand pianos again?
And apparently raising livestock?
Ugh. For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. Equal housing lender. NMLS number 399797.
Your new Columbus home for the Jim Rome Show is the Fan 2.
Catch the live experience weekdays from 3 to 6.
Just one requirement. Have a take and don't suck. The Fan 2, Columbus's home of the Jim Rome Show. Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. This is the Fans Game Day Scoreboard.
This Game Day update is sponsored by Mutual Federal, proudly serving Columbus with personal and business solutions at mutualfederal.com.
And I'm Cole Bartemus. We're counting down to Big Noon kickoff where your top-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes will welcome a beleaguered Penn State team to the shoe. We got pregame coverage right here on the Fan, leading all the way up to Paul and Jim's call of the game. Also at noon, number 9 Vanderbilt will be in Austin taking on number 20 Texas. Vanderbilt's only got one loss on the season while Texas has 2, so if they lose to the Commodores today, they're done for good. We got 2 other ranked matchups today going on. Josh Heupel's 14th ranked Volunteers will host his alma mater in number 18 Oklahoma, and that'll be a battle of 6-2 teams at 7:30. And way later at 10:15 this evening, number 17 Cincinnati will be in Salt Lake as somewhat heavy underdogs against number 24 Utah. All the rankings that you've seen here today are temporary. This is the final week of prioritizing the AP poll. On Tuesday night, we'll be giving our first dose of the CFP rankings.
This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Tailgate Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Curtis & Associates and Mountain Dew.
Your forever flagship home of Ohio State Athletics. The Fan. He's so money.
Sponsored by Kemba Financial Credit Union.
All right, back at it, back on campus. Anthony Rothman, Dave Biddle, and Tim May. He's so money. You know, we talk about who's going to shine in the shoe, and I think this running game that we talked about earlier is just keeps getting more interesting week to week. And we saw that now Bo Jackson and Isaiah West are the ones that are commanding most of the carries. It's been very tough to predict. What has been somewhat predictable is the fact that they haven't just exploded lately. And I said, I said on my show that it's not that they can't run the ball. They can run it. It's just sometimes in predictable running times, they're not successful. And that has been somewhat concerning if you want to be just an absolute complete team. 3.5 yards per carry. So we're kind of in a situation where I'll ask you guys this. Bo Jackson was believed to be the bell cow. He's going to take over. He was going to be the guy. And then we saw glimpses of Isaiah West. And whether that was late against a beaten-down Wisconsin team, who knows. Where do you guys see this running game going now with the personnel?
I still think Bo Jackson's going to be the starter moving forward throughout the season. And, he does have that home run ability, but he's also physical enough to run through the tackles at 217 pounds. Does a good job of always falling forward. The great backs do that more often than not. Breaks tackles, makes guys miss. But I think Isaiah West is right there. I think he is going to be, if he's not the second running back in the game today, which he might be, I think he will have the second most carries, just like he did last game. So I look for Bo Jackson to be the starter, Isaiah West, the fellow true freshman, to be the number 2 back. But C.J. Donaldson will play. I won't be surprised if Donaldson's the second back in the game today, Anthony and Tim. And all 4 of those guys are going to play, including James Peoples. But, yeah, to me, the 2 true freshmen are the 2 best backs on the team, and that's clear with Bo Jackson and Isaiah West, in my opinion.
And C.J.'s been the goal line guy, too, Tim, right?
Well, that's why C.J. might be the second back in, because obviously he's been their back of choice. But, I think Bo Jackson's fully capable of that. He was pretty Isaiah West too. Isaiah West was kind of bummed out, a couple of weeks ago when he got him kind of down there and didn't get the score. But
Donaldson gets knocked backwards a lot for a 232-pound back. To me, that is a concern. You're supposed to be a bruiser, and more often than not, you're getting knocked back.
The problem with Donaldson is he's kind of like and it's not. This is just nitpicking, but. Like when they ran the goal line at Washington, if the hole is there, he's going to go through it. If it's not, he's not going to make that little cut right. You know what I mean? The little nimble moves that really set a running back apart. And I think they're catching more onto that. But I asked Ryan Day, I think it was on Wednesday, about is there a little bit of a reluctance to just turn it over to the freshman running backs? And he answered it really politically correct. But the point is, you can just see what they're doing now. I mean, Carlos Loughlin is kind of calling the shots when it comes to who's going in the game at what time. And like Dave pointed out, Bo Jackson looks to be the starter now. Isaiah West has definitely acquitted himself extremely well. So the rotation today, I would not be surprised to see the 2 freshmen again be the primary dudes in there trying to make things happen. James Peoples caught 1 pass against Wisconsin, and that was his contribution. So he has moved into that 4th team role, and I don't think anybody's that surprised based on production. But there's nothing wrong with going to freshmen. But like Ryan Dickey's pointing out, they plan to play 16 games this year, and you got to keep quite a few guys healthy.
And it was good to see Bo Jackson, the way he caught the ball out of the backfield. We've seen that, from him like all season in bits and pieces against Wisconsin. The rushing stats weren't good for Bo, but 5 catches for 57 yards, and he looked good doing it, had the touchdown. So Bo Jackson, to me, is the best back on the team, but it's great to see Isaiah West step up. He was injured in the spring because he was injured his senior year in high school, and it's great to see a healthy Isaiah West because they're going to need him.
Right, and here's what everybody's curious about today is the right guard position.
Yes.
Because Tegra Chabola struggled at times against Wisconsin. We've seen him struggle before. We've seen him also had very good games, especially in that 4-game run to the national championship. Last year's a wild trumpet player runs in front of us there. But the bottom line is they've got to get that figured out because one guy infiltrating the backfield on run plays, etc., has blown them up quite a few times this year. And so he and Josh Padilla, it's going to be interesting to see that rotation if, in fact, Padilla doesn't get to start today.
The one thing for this game that I think about is certainly that Penn State's going to want to try to be as physical as they can to run the football. I feel like that is kind of like a little bit of a gauntlet for this Ohio State running game to say, wait a minute, we can be the best running game in this building today.
Whatever it takes.
The other part is that Penn State's rush defense has not been that great.
Nope, pretty bad, you could say.
Yeah, I mean, if you're giving up more than 200 yards to UCLA and who else? Iowa. And I know those teams, UCLA had been running the ball before the Indiana game, and Iowa does what Iowa does. But this is I say it every week, and I'm not going to guarantee anything, but it's almost like for Ohio State's running game to break out, there has to be a breakout game. And this might be the one where they say, you know what? You guys think you can come in here and be physical because it's probably what they'll hang their hat on, Penn State. Maybe Ohio State finally can fight fire with fire.
And that might be what they do, but they can't do what they did against a certain team from Ann Arbor last year. We're going to the game thinking, okay, we're going to run the ball, we're going to prove a point, and then if that's getting stuffed, not switch the game plan up. So if Penn State's stuffing the run and they're daring you to throw, then let in my opinion, I think a lot of people's opinion, the most accurate quarterback in the country do his thing. So, but I think this is a day where they're going to get the running game going.
That's what I'll go back to this. What was so encouraging was to see Ohio State go into Wisconsin, into Camp Randall, and just say, you can't stop these wide receivers, and you can't stop the most accurate quarterback in the country to date in Julian saying, and we'll run the ball once, on that first drive, just to show you we will run it. But, that NFL kind of approach, I think, is just apropos for this offense.
Yeah, and listen, Ohio State's proven this year that they don't have to be hell-bent to try to do anything. They've been really patient, taking what the defense is giving them, and that kind of dictates the game plan a lot of time in game. That Ohio State won't be just, hey, we came in today to run the football, and that's what we're going to do, and we'll do it until we can't do it. That's not what they're going to do.
And the right guard situation that Tim brought up is very interesting to me. I mean, you guys listened to the press conference, or in your case, you were there. Anthony, you're listening to it during your show there at noon. And what did Ryan Day say? He wasn't even asked about Padilla by name or Tegra by name. He was asked, your thoughts on the right guard position moving forward. He only talked about Padilla when he gave the answer. Now, he did say he's the sixth man, but he talked him up.
Yeah.
Never said a word about Tegra. Now, this could be me reading too much into it, as I am wont to do. That told me that if Padilla's not starting today, Tegra's on a very, very, very short leash. And I think before long, guys, I'll be surprised if Padilla is not the starting right guard for this team, because he's been grading out well, and Tegra's been grading out very poorly.
He got in early the last game, he got in early too. Padilla did. So, that's still a work in progress.
Yeah. Last time I checked, our job was to read into things. I think all three of us do it fairly well.
Yeah, I think so. I think having an opinion is probably a good idea, or just AI could do the show.
It's job one.
Not AR,
He's somebody. I don't know. Don't give him any suggestions.
Oh, yeah, exactly. No, exactly.
Nothing but
strike that from the record.
They might take it. He's So Money, sponsored by Kemba Financial Credit Union. When we come back, we'll have Jim Lachey, perfect guy to give us an O-line report and give us his opinion on the personnel. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Tailgate Show. Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Riverside Bank of Dublin Game Day Traffic Center.
No accidents or major slowdowns for you right now, just growing traffic volume. 315 north and southbound getting busier around the Lane Avenue and Ackerman Road exits. You might start to see brake lights northbound on 315, starting around the King Ave Medical Center exit. Likewise on southbound 315, those brake lights start right around Ackerman, just a little before into the hospital curve. Lane Avenue very busy right now between High Street and Kenny Road. Olentangy River Road seeing volume pick up between Lane and Kinnear. With game day traffic, I'm Kate Burdett on the Fan.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The Ohio State University Army ROTC isn't just a curriculum. It's more than just a path to a degree. For more than 150 years, we have been forging tomorrow's leaders. Here you will find your purpose, your mission, your ROTC family. At Ohio State, you're not just joining Army ROTC, you're stepping into a history of excellence that spans generations. Learn more at arotc.osu.edu. Buckeyes lead the way.
You are a very important person. You show up, put in the work, and bring your best to each and every day. It isn't always glamorous or easy, but it's worth it because you're building a life for yourself and those you love. That means a lot, and so do you. When you open an account at Park National Bank, you get more than you might expect. Your own personal banker and the VIP treatment you deserve. Park National Bank, where you mean more. Member FDIC.
Hey Columbus, it's Lorenzo Stiles Jr., Ohio State student athlete. Football runs deep in my family. My dad played here, and now my brother and I are proud to carry on that tradition. At Monogram Homes, family matters too. They treat every homeowner like one of their own, building with care, precision, and pride. Monogram doesn't just build houses, they build homes, crafted just for you. So whether you're starting your first home or designing your dream space, Monogram Homes has got your back every step of the way. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building today. Monogram Homes, a builder you can trust.
Attention Buckeye fans. BuckeyeSportsAuctions.com is live this November with authentic Buckeye gold pants, player-awarded championship rings, and on-field game-worn helmets, jerseys, and other unique collectibles. Register now at BuckeyeSportsAuctions.com.
Taking out the trash.
Hey Columbus, this is Zach Bourne.
And Jacoby Bourne.
When it comes to waste service, you want a team that knows how to deliver under pressure, just like Saturdays in the fall.
At Bourne Brothers Waste Services, our team is built on toughness, teamwork, and consistent execution.
We're the most reliable and customer service-focused waste company in Central Ohio.
Whether it is recycling, trash, construction waste, roll-off containers, front loads, or compactors, we have it handled.
Call now or visit BourneBrothers.com and let us tackle your waste needs.
Taking out the trash.
Football season is here, and so is tailgating season. Are you ready? If not, let Columbus Car Audio and Accessories help you get the latest and best accessories for your ride. Upgrade your sound system so everyone around can hear what team you're rooting for. Add mobile video and never miss a game on the road. Add style and privacy with window tint and avoid scraping ice this winter by adding a remote starter. Choose Columbus Car Audio and Accessories when it comes to customizing your ride. Morse Road near Easton, Main Street in Reynoldsburg, or ColumbusCarAudio.com. Did you know Byers Airport Subaru is the oldest Subaru retailer in the entire country? And just like a veteran quarterback, we've been delivering winning drives for generations right here by the airport. At Byers, we treat every customer like part of the team because that's what keeps us in the game season after season. From tailgates to road trips, we've got the perfect Subaru to get you there. Kick off your next adventure at ColumbusSubaru.com or visit us by the airport. Byers Auto, driving the next generation of buyers. Attention Buckeye fans. BuckeyeSportsAuctions.com is live this November with authentic Buckeye gold pants, player-awarded championship rings, and on-field game-worn helmets, jerseys, and other unique collectibles. Register now at BuckeyeSportsAuctions.com.
How many different ways can you consume morning juice? Let's see. Live on YouTube, live on the Fans HD3 podcast on demand, and on 10 TV Plus. And we'll send Bobby right to your house.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 8.
The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We are looking at partly sunny skies here for today. If you're heading out to the Buckeyes game, temperatures will warm up into the 50s here for the afternoon. We'll see winds pretty light out of the southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tonight, mostly cloudy skies and temperatures cooling down into the upper 30s to lower 40s with a few rain showers possible south of I-70. And then partly sunny for tomorrow on your Sunday, highs back in the 50s. And looking at upper 50s to lower 60s here by Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
Bo Bishop is a media legend. We have no idea where the other guys came from. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
That was one hell of a game, huh?
Start ringing that victory bell. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Tailgate Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Curtis & Associates and Mountain Dew.
Your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan. It's time to check in with Buckeye color analyst and president of the Large Hand Society, Jim Lachey.
Sponsored by Ohio State Army ROTC. Leadership starts here. Visit arotc.osu.edu.
All right, the bye weeks are in the rearview mirror. It's back to business for Ohio State against Penn State today. We welcome in the former All-American, the one and only Jim Lachey. Good morning, my man.
Good morning. It's so good to be back here at home at Ohio Stadium after 3 of the last 4 on the road. Now, they were good road experiences. You know, you get a chance to go to Madison. You know, you'll do that. Champaign and then Seattle, but nothing like being here at home. And it seems like it's been a long time since that Minnesota game. So I'm excited for it. How about the lucky weather we've been getting on game days? I mean, it's been perfect.
Perfect.
So enjoying it, and you know, this is the one we all had circled at the beginning of the year.
We did.
You know, you had Texas, you knew what they were going to be, and then you know, with Penn State, and you know, certainly that's changed a little bit, but they haven't got blown out by anybody, so we're gonna get their best shot.
Let's start with maybe the interesting or good part of the running game, which was Isaiah West against Wisconsin, and the fact that he had 9 carries, 6.1 per. Give me your best take on whether you think that he's now officially moved up in the pecking order for good.
Well, everybody wants to have that one bell cow back, right, that you can just count on. That, you know, you hand the ball off to them 25, 30 times a game, they're going to get 150 yards. But that's not going to be the case. We learned that last year. The formula with Quinshawn and Travion was, hey, we're going to play 2. And both those guys end up going over 1,000. I don't know if we'll have 2,000-yard rushers. If we do, we got a lot of work to do here in these next 7, 8, 9 games to meet that. But, it's by committee. And you got to trust Carlo Lachlan, the running back coach, that he's got the right guys that he wants. And, we saw Bo Jackson step up after Grambling. We saw Isaiah West get some opportunities. And, on the other hand, C.J. Donaldson a little bit less. James Peoples a little bit less. But they feel like, they got some guys that can go out there and get it done, and it's going to be a week-to-week thing and go with a hot hand. But the freshmen look good. Now, it doesn't matter who's back there. You got to have a hole to run through, right?
Right.
So our offensive line's done to do a great job of, executing their assignment, using great technique, and then, trying to get some movement to the next level, not get to the next level. You want to move your guy to that level. So I want to see that, whether we're running counter schemes or zone schemes or, trying to get outside. We got to have that ability to get some movement at the point of attack and, make sure we get some great cutoffs backside.
Ryan Day was asked about the right guard spot on Tuesday, Jim, and he wasn't asked specifically about Padilla or Tegra. He was just asked about right guard moving forward, and he really talked up Padilla, didn't say anything about Tegra. What did you make of that? What do you expect at right guard for the Buckeyes?
I think they'll rotate in. I saw a little bit of practice this week, and, I think that's good because, as we saw last year, if you have injuries, you better have somebody ready to go. So I feel like they're building depth. They got, 3 offensive tackles. Seems like maybe Ian Moore. Or you see a little bit of Ethan Oniawa, playing a little bit more tackle. I know that they tried him at guard a little bit, but he seems to be backing up, getting some reps at both tackle spots. So you just want to make sure you're ready, and if anything happens to Carson Hintzman, then, Josh Medee would move over to center. So it's good that he has that flexibility that he can play, both positions. But why not, right? Why not trying to get your best guys in there? Because it's, when you watch the film and you don't have to be an offensive line guru. You can see that, sometimes we're not doing what we need to be doing.
Yeah.
And, it's nothing against these kids, but they just got to go out there and execute. I mean, that's the name of the game. If you want to continue to improve as a player and be one of the best at your positions, you got to be able to be critically coached. So they see it, the coaches see it, fans see it. Now they got to go ahead and put it together. And, it's not going to be easy. This Penn State defensive line has some dudes on it. That Zane Durant, it seems like he's been around forever. Denied Dennis Sutton, another guy that's probably going to be a first round or a high round draft pick by the time his career's all done. Very active. He's got what you want in a defensive end with being 6'5", 265, 270-ish with good speed. Now, what's hurt their defense is losing a great linebacker like Tony Rojas. They lost him early in the year, and they really haven't been able to replace him. But Campbell, I thought, has stepped up and has done some good things inside. Dom DeLuca is another guy that's played well. And then, behind them, you got a safety in Wheatley who's got 49 tackles, who cleans things up kind of like our Caleb Downs. So they got some people over there, and they've had 2 weeks to get ready. So, we'll get their best effort like we do from everybody, and you're going to have to take it away from them.
Let's go with mindset here right now. What do you think Ryan Day would like to do, Brian Hartline would like to do, going against a Jim Knowles defense? If you understand what I'm saying there, meaning, how special is this a moment for them in terms of, I don't know, setting the record straight's not correct, because Ohio State had the number 1 defense in the country at the end of the year last year, and got it done and stuff. But how much does that, do you think, get involved in the game plan in terms of just getting after a team? And we've talked about before, Penn State has had trouble stopping the run, obviously. So where do you think that mindset is with Ryan Day today?
Well, the mindset is he understands a little bit what Jim likes to do, right?
Yeah, but I mean past that, meaning that
the
chess match.
Yeah, there is a little bit, but, I guess from my NFL background, dudes got traded midweek, So,
exactly.
The next thing you're seeing them on Sunday afternoon. Not as much with coaches, but coaches move around. So it's like, oh, man, this guy used to be a teammate, now I'm going against him. And if anything, it does. You kind of get your juices flowing a little bit. Like, hey, I want to show this guy, Otherwise he's going to show me, right? So you want to make sure that you have a great game plan. I don't think you try to run it up or anything like that, but you just want to let them know at the end of the day that, hey, we're still doing what we're doing here, and
we saw that odd game plan against Michigan last year. It just didn't make sense except for the 2-minute drill when they went right down the field.
Third quarter, right? Started the game.
So, but I want to ask you. I want to backtrack on one other thing you were talking about. A guy you talked about a minute ago. How would you describe the Ethan Onianwa experiment to this point? Meaning they went out and paid, pretty decent coin to bring Ethan Onianwa in, and it looked like they still thought he was maybe one of the top 5 guys, try to get him in the guard spot when it wasn't working out at tackle and stuff. But is he one of those guys you think could come on as this season goes on, or is it a disappointment to him right now?
I would say so far it's a disappointment, because he hasn't, kind of crashed through. And again, he's a guy that has 35 starts underneath his belt at Rice. Now, here's a big step up to Ohio State. But still, pride-wise, I mean, he wants to be out there. He wants to be contributing and, wants to be considered one of the best 5 offensive linemen to get us some playing time there on the field. And, his paycheck might be good this year, but if he doesn't do something, it might be the final paycheck.
Revenue sharing is a sliding scale.
Right.
Exactly.
I think all of these deals should be incentive-based.
Yes.
You know what I mean? For head coaches, assistant coaches.
It's headed that way, baby.
Yeah, you win. Every game you win, you get a little extra in your paycheck, and every game you lose, you might have to pay a little bit back and that'll make you hungry. But, for some of these guys that come in and you get that check and, I don't know, whatever reason, maybe, he's like, oh, I made it or I got it done. Once you think that you've made it or you got it all figured out, football, life shows you real quick that you don't.
He's going to have to take a pay cut if he plays for the Columbus Aviators of the UFL.
Yeah, he'll get monthly or yearly what he gets in a month here at Ohio State probably. But, again, it's an opportunity. And, if you love football, you'll take that opportunity to continue to play and, hopefully that you can make it in the NFL where the game checks, just keep adding zeros and zeros and zeros on them. So I know Aiden Hutchinson is pretty happy with the system right now.
Yes, sir.
No doubt. $180 million, I think 140 guaranteed, so pretty good deal. But
he's a good player, man, no matter where he came from.
We can talk about the running game, guys, but, I mean, what we did against Wisconsin looked pretty good. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yes.
I mean, I don't mind that. I don't mind that. I played with Don Coryell and Dan Fouts and Charlie Joyner and
Bingo.
And if that's your advantage, use it.
If you got it, flaunt it.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Don't be worried about driving that car out there. And,
the only time I have to worry about something like that, and it's not even in light rain. Heavy rain changes everything. Big time wind could throw that asunder and stuff. But otherwise, when in doubt, air it out. It's always been my philosophy.
That Northwestern game several years ago, it was as windy as I've ever seen it. You needed a running game that game, definitely, because you couldn't throw, you couldn't punt, you could hardly kick.
Yeah, they still figured out a way to win it, though. You'd have
to.
Yeah, and if you get into a battle with someone and you get in predictable running down, you get into a 4th and 2 or 4th and 1, then it's the immovable object against the irresistible force. Then you got to be physical.
And then Julian can run too, right? I mean,
absolutely.
Everybody's keen on the backs. He can pull it and slip away. So we saw that increase a little bit, which is a nice aspect and gives something for teams to worry about.
Jim, you've seen big time quarterbacks, but what I was talking to these guys earlier. You watched his video from high school. He was doing a lot of this stuff in high school, but his ability to roll and throw the ball, that pass to Brandon Ennis, was unbelievable. I mean, put him on another scale, I think, or another level of the scale, in my opinion. Do you agree? I mean, because you've chased him out of the pocket, and boom.
No, he's got an arm. It's very apparent every game that you've watched. Now, everybody's waiting for that first game. Okay, boom, he did this. 13 passes complete out of 20. And then to what, almost 38 passes out of 42 here. 7 weeks later, he's on a great track. He's progressing well. And, we got some unbelievable receivers out there, and our offensive lines were protected well. A lot of people don't want to blitz us because they're worried about on the back end.
Right.
So, if that's the way they want to play, but usually if teams are playing nickel, you should be able to run at them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because they got an less guy in the box. They got maybe 6 instead of 7 or 8 in the box. So that would be beneficial to the run game. So. That's just, it's a number count. He does a good job deciphering. I think our coaches are coming up with good concepts. And then moving the pocket. Coach Day talked about that on Thursday, that, he didn't want his tackles to be hung out to dry. All 4 or 5 second drop back passing. To move the pocket kind of gives them a little bit of a opportunity to be a little bit more physical and, not have, we call it, those are tough blocks, long blocks. So every time you can give a guy, a little bit of an opportunity to
stretch his legs,
health, or have some help, or to change the concept up from drop back, change a launching point, it kind of frustrates that defense. And if you get those guys running, it makes it real hard.
Jim, we'll let you get to the stadium, bud.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Jim.
Always a pleasure, man.
Jim Lachey, presented by Ohio State Army, ROTC. Leadership starts here. Visit arotc.osu.edu. When we come back, we'll illustrate the dominance Ohio State has had over Penn State. This is the Curtis and Associates Fan Tailgate Show. Remember, they don't get paid unless you get paid, right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Riverside Bank of Dublin Game Day Traffic Center.
We've definitely seen traffic pick up a bit in the last 30 minutes or so. 315 north and southbound, it's starting to pick up around the Lane Avenue and Ackerman Road exits. If you're going northbound on 315 right now and you want to avoid the crowd at the Lane Avenue exit, I recommend going one exit north to Ackerman and then taking Fred Taylor Drive back south to get to Lane. Lane Avenue really crowded right now between High Street and Kenny Road. Nothing surprising there. Kenny Road is busy between Lane and Kinnear with game day traffic. I'm Kate Burdett on The Fan.
Around here, it's all or nothing. And Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else. Like the best-selling Toyota Camry. Now through November 3rd, get 4.75 APR financing on remaining new 25 Camrys. Or lease a new 26 Camry LE for $279 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Buckeyes, the 2025 football season is here, and that means three things: football, game day, and smooth Jameson whiskey. Whether you're catching the game at home, at your neighborhood bar, or soaking up the team spirit at a tailgate, Jameson Ginger and Lime at Ohio State Athletics are a winning combo. So cheers to making game days even better with the official whiskey of the fans. Jameson, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Taste responsibly.
Jameson Irish Whiskey, product of Ireland. 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Copyright 2025, imported by John Jameson Import Company, New York, New York.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me the sunshine. Give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and a cool, refreshing mountain dew. So give me my good hands. Give me a dew.
Grab some friends and an ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
Our clients deserve for us to care, and they deserve to feel serviced. They have questions, and they deserve answers. We're counselors first because I'm not selling them anything. I'm trying to teach clients how to protect themselves. At Curtis and Associates, we're personal injury attorneys. We've helped and continue to help hundreds and hundreds of clients every year. That's important to us. If you've been injured in an accident and it's not your fault, call now. 614-GOT-HURT. That's 614-GOT-HURT. Curtis and Associates. Attorneys who care.
When you need a mini excavator or a not so mini excavator, lean on Green. Sunbelt Rentals. With the largest rental fleet and hardest working equipment experts in Columbus, we can help you take a big step toward a mini excavator in one of 17 different sizes, from 2,000 to 18,000 pound machines, with 6 to 24 feet of reach and 5 to 15 feet digging depth. Though in the most rental locations, and it's no wonder the Columbus builders who are building Columbus lean on Green. Sunbelt Rentals. Learn more at sunbeltrentals.com.
At Kemba Financial Credit Union, we care about you. Consumers like you say they don't want monthly fees for checking, and we listen. Introducing hassle-free checking with no monthly service fee. Use it as an easy place to deposit and transfer your money, along with your everyday banking needs. Plus, Kemba's expansive digital banking services make it easy for you to bank how you want. At Kemba, we're always thinking of ways to put you and your finances first. Visit Kemba.org, federally insured by NCUA. Restrictions apply.
Sonic Temple Art and Music Festival returns May 14th through 17th with My Chemical Romance, Tool, Bring Me the Horizon, and Shinedown. Plus, Pierce the Veil, Good Charlotte, The Offspring, Sublime, Godsmack, Breaking Benjamin, Marilyn Manson, and so many more. Sonic Temple in Columbus, Ohio, May 14th to 17th. Passes on sale now for as low as $1 down at SonicTempleFestival.com.
Drive your dream car home today. no matter your credit history. Hey, it's Phil here at Capital Florida Columbus in Whitehall. We proudly accept all credit types, good, bad, or none. Get pre-approved in minutes and hit the road with confidence. Get your new ride today. Call 614-861-7150 or shop our huge selection online at CapitalFloridaColumbus.com. Your perfect ride is credit ready and waiting at Capital Florida Columbus.
Always and forever your Ohio State flagship station.
WBNS-FM HD1 Columbus.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is the Fan's Game Day Scoreboard.
This game day update is sponsored by Mutual Federal, proudly serving Columbus with personal and business solutions at mutualfederal.com.
And I'm Cole Bartemus. We're counting down to Big Noon kickoff where your top-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes will welcome a beleaguered Penn State team to the shoe. We got pregame coverage right here on the Fan leading all the way up to Paul and Jim's call of the game. Also at noon, number 9 Vanderbilt will be in Austin taking on number 20 Texas. Vanderbilt's only got 1 loss in the season while Texas has 2, so if they lose to the Commodores today, they're done for good. We got 2 other ranked matchups today going on. Josh Heupel's 14th ranked Volunteers will host his alma mater in number 18 Oklahoma, and that'll be a battle of 6-2 teams at 7:30. And way later at 10:15 this evening, number 17 Cincinnati will be in Salt Lake as somewhat heavy underdogs against number 24 Utah. All the rankings that you've seen here today are temporary. This is the final week of prioritizing the AP poll. On Tuesday night, we'll be giving our first dose of the CFP rankings.
Bring the energy! It's game day, Buckeye fans. You're listening to the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Tailgate Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Curtis & Associates and Mountain Dew.
Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan.
All right, back at it. Tailgate Show. The Toyota Fan Tailgate Show, presented by Mountain Dew. Anthony Rothman, Dave Biddle, and Tim May. All right, they've been good games. They've been competitive over the years,
yes,
but it's been one-sided. 12 of the last 13. Ohio State and Penn State hasn't won in this building in, 14 years?
Right.
So we expect it to go the Buckeyes' way. David mentioned this earlier, and we'll talk to Scotty Vegas in the next segment about the spread ticking down, which is odd. Now, it was already fairly high, 21, 20.5. So it's almost a 3-touchdown spread. So the fact that it went from 20.5 to 18.5 isn't massive. I'm not going to make a huge deal out of that, but the fact that money was coming in on Penn State because they felt the spread was too high.
Yeah, and Scotty and I both thought the opposite would happen. Like 20.5, we thought it'd be a little higher than that, right around there. I think we guessed like 23, so we both thought it was going to tick up. It's gone the other way. Yeah. So you're right, not a massive difference, obviously, 2 points, but the fact that it went down to 19.5, Penn State, and then yesterday it ticked down to 18.5, and I just checked, it's still there. That is very interesting. Another thing, guys, like this has been such a cool border war ever since 1993. It's weird that it's going away for the next 2 years, Tim, man.
I think it's a crime. I mean, it's a crime against. I think it's a crime against fans. I don't understand the Big Ten letting a product which is from their inventory, which is Ohio State versus Penn State, no matter where it's played, go off the schedule for 2 years. If I'm the networks, yeah. I'm going, what are you doing? I mean, what is this scheduling? How come Ohio State hasn't, in the first 2 years, Ohio State didn't play USC at least once in the first 2 years of the expansion, et cetera? What are you doing with your inventory here? And, yeah, I mean, it's I don't know how people call shots in that regard. I'll be honest with you. I know Penn State really doesn't have a designated rival, the way I understand the thing. Meanwhile, Ohio State plays Michigan every year. But like I was talking about, I think it was on Anthony's show yesterday, I mean, Alabama plays Tennessee every year. And they also play Auburn every year, even in this revamped Southeastern Conference, because, Tennessee is more of a rival for Alabama going way back than Auburn is, because they didn't play for like 30 or 40 years because it got so physical in the stands.
That's hilarious. I never knew that.
But how do you let an Ohio State, two blue bloods in your conference not play for 2 years? I don't get it.
And to your point, like you could say, well, it's an 18-team conference now. That's just how it works. You only get one protected rival.
Big whoopee.
Michigan has Ohio State and Michigan State as protected.
Correct.
So they could have used Michigan and Penn State as Ohio State's protective rivals, but they decided just to go with Michigan. I agree with you. I said it was weird. I like it's a crime. It's a crime.
Well, it's a crime against fans. It's a crime against fans. I don't mean it's
no one's going to get arrested.
You're going to be put in jail for it.
What was the thought or the rumor or whatever that Penn State was not sad to see it go.
Well, that's the rumor because everybody starts.
That's probably why.
I mean,
no one at Penn State actually stepped up and said that, but they could have.
That was probably one of those. Oh, okay.
They could have said.
That's too bad.
So my question to you guys is this: so that didn't influence the decision?
Maybe it did.
Maybe it did.
If Penn State came out with screaming from the mountaintops, no, we have to keep Ohio State.
Yeah.
But they're like, well, we're like, what, 1-10 against them in the last 11 years? Maybe going away for 2 years isn't the worst thing in the world.
No, they're white.
Especially when they're going to be breaking in a new coach. They didn't know that at the time, obviously.
Right. I haven't done the math, but their record and their whiteouts is kind of like falling precipitously, isn't it? I mean,
yes.
They're big whiteout games. So.
If Franklin would have beaten Ohio State one more time, two more times, does he survive this season? Would that have bought him a little bit of reprieve, or was it just the cumulative effect of never being able to win a big game?
Like if he beat him last year, and then
which he could have,
and they even got to the semifinals of the CFP.
Oh, they were right there.
They're right there,
and that was with losing to Ohio State.
He survived this embarrassment.
Yeah, I would say I would lean toward yes.
Here's what
I would lean toward yes.
Here's what I was leaning toward because I'm sure what they got tired of him getting them almost there in these games and then not finishing the deal. And I would think he was on a short leash for whatever reason this year. Even like you said, they went to the college football playoff semifinal.
You would think that would have bought him a little bit of time. The problem is
they
this
were a score away from playing Ohio State for the national championship.
I think he survives if he didn't have a team this year that was set up to be the Ohio State of this year. Meaning
Michigan
they all came back. That they're all that there was like if he had lost a lot more guys. This is the sad truth for him. If he wouldn't have had as good of a team, he actually survives. The expectations for this season for him were so high, and the Oregon game that he lost, which was a great game, but he lost it. He off a bye week, 2 weeks prepare at home, white out. Here comes Oregon, and you don't win it.
But it was overtime. Yeah. It was a hell of a game.
Right.
And then the UCLA game the next week. UCLA was winless. Yes, and then
what if he loses to UCLA and beats Northwestern? Does he survive?
That's a good question.
He survives for another week.
Another week, yeah.
Only their athletic director and the powers that be at Penn State know the answer to that. But I think that what they'd said, I think you got the idea. We've seen this movie before, over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
And one more thing about them getting into the semifinals of the CFP, you would think that like just on the surface, okay, they got to the semifinals of the first 12-team CFP, but the two teams they beat, that didn't give them any like street cred, and then they really should have beat Notre Dame. You could argue. I mean, Howard had that terrible interception. Right, and then they lose that one. That was the best team they played. And so Penn State fans are probably thinking, oh, yeah, we got to the semifinals, but we still lost to Ohio State. The two teams we beat in the CFP were not good, and then we got beat by Notre Dame in a game we should have won.
Let me tell you, last year when Ohio State beat them over there, it was brutal what you were hearing in the stands, under the stands, going to the interview thing. It was unbelievable.
Some of those were caught on video, too. James Franklin was talking back to some of them.
The Rancor.
Yes. This year he just went, just left after which game was it? The Northwestern game.
Yeah, he stood there.
He just got out of Dodge.
No, he didn't. He stood there and stared. I mean, it was like an odd moment for a lot of people watching that.
Your kickoff forecast brought to you by Sunbelt Rentals. See why the Columbus Builders building Columbus lean on green. It's starting to get a little more beautiful for football. 50 degrees we expect to kick off, and winds northwest about 10 miles an hour. We'll top out at 54 degrees in the second half. When we come back, we'll find out why that spread is ticking down. From the handicapper to the stars, Scotty Vegas. That's next on the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Tailgate Show right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Riverside Bank of Dublin Game Day Traffic Center.
Traffic is definitely getting heavier in spots, and those spots include 315 north and southbound around the Lane Avenue and Ackerman Road exits. Off of the highway and onto those side streets, Lane Avenue very busy between Kenny Road and High Street. Kenny Road is busy from Lane to Kinnear. Olentangy River Road also busy in that stretch from Lane to Kinnear. And don't forget that Woody Hayes Drive is closed between Tuttle Park and Cannon. With Game Day Traffic, I'm Kate Burdett on The Fan.
Attention Buckeye fans.
BuckeyeSportsAuctions.com is live this November with authentic Buckeye gold pants, player-awarded championship rings, and on-field game-worn helmets, jerseys, and other unique collectibles.
Register now at BuckeyeSportsAuctions.com.
Millions of fans agree this Christmas tradition rocks. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert, presenting The Ghost of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more. December 23rd, 2 shows, Nationwide Arena. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Trans-Siberian Orchestra. A portion of the proceeds benefits the James and Heather Pick Music Program.
Ride off, then write off when you take advantage of the year-end tax break offers at Bobcat Enterprises. Right now, Bobcat has 0% financing for 60 months on compact tractors. Use tax code deductions to maximize your reinvestment power and gain a competitive edge for 2026. Plus, you can lease, finance, or directly purchase equipment and still apply for the tax deduction. Stop by Bobcat Enterprises in Hilliard, Reynoldsburg, or Zanesville, or see our full line of products at bobcatent.com today. Offer expires 12/31/25.
Round here, it's all or nothing. And nobody has more all-wheel drive choices than Toyota. Now through November 3rd, get 4.75 APR financing on a new 25 RAV4 or 5.75 on RAV4 Hybrid, excludes plug-ins, or lease a gas-powered RAV4 LE for $309 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Attention Buckeye fans. BuckeyeSportsAuctions.com is live this November with authentic Buckeye gold pants, player-awarded championship rings, and on-field game-worn helmets, jerseys, and other unique collectibles. Register now at BuckeyeSportsAuctions.com.
Our clients deserve for us to care, and they deserve to feel serviced. They have questions, and they deserve answers. We're counselors first because I'm not selling them anything. I'm trying to teach clients how to protect themselves. At Curtis & Associates, we're personal injury attorneys. We've helped and continue to help hundreds and hundreds of clients every year. That's important to us. If you've been injured in an accident and it's not your fault, call now. 614-GOT-HURT. That's 614-GOT-HURT. Curtis & Associates, attorneys who care.
Ooh, winter's coming. And when the wind starts to blow, don't come inside to the cold. Open the door to peace of mind with your Waterworks and Header Precision Furnace Tune-Up and Energy Savings Plan. Your furnace is the heart of your home, and Waterworks and Header will have yours running at peak performance throughout the winter. Plus, you'll save on those energy bills too. Go to waterworks.com and schedule your furnace tune-up online. Waterworks and Header, heating, cooling, and plumbing. Together to serve you better.
In Columbus, how you roll up on game day matters. And with Polestar are redefining the driving experience. The Polestar 3 isn't just an electric SUV. It's an SUV that drives like a sports car. Precise, powerful, silent enough to hear the crowd before you see the stadium. Drive it today at Polestar Columbus. Or visit polestarcolumbus.com for a test drive and to learn about our competitive lease offers.
What's better than cheering the Buckeyes on to victory? Wearing our exclusive collection of OSU jewelry as you watch. Hi, this is Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. We're an officially licensed jeweler of The Ohio State University, and we've created beautiful Buckeye jewelry that will last a lifetime. From Blocko earrings to Diamond Script Ohio necklaces, we've got luxury Buckeye gifts starting at $99. No matter where you're watching, show your Buckeye love at the Diamond Cellar, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Common Man and Timmy.
These doctors and the nurse.
You don't want them thinking that that's you and it's not.
Talking to one of his friends saying, let me tell you, there's nothing common about that Common Man. He's tiny.
Common Man and Timmy Afternoons on the Fan is sponsored by the Hinderer Motor Company.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Don't it feel good when your crowd behind you? You know what I'm saying?
You're listening to the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Tailgate Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Curtis & Associates and Mountain Dew.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
All right, back on campus. Handicapper to the Stars, our boy Scotty Vegas. Good to see you, my man.
Yeah.
You're back from Indiana,
I'm
scouting
back.
out the opponent.
Fun time in Bloomington.
I bet that was,
we got a football school now all of a sudden overnight. And,
you show up and it's a 50-point win.
Yeah, well, I went last year for homecoming against Nebraska. How many did they put on them? Something in the 60s, I think.
Jeez, you should go back every week,
I guess
right?
So.
I had the over in that game. You know, it was 53.5. Indiana and UCLA. I didn't even need UCLA to chip in. Indiana took care of the over by themselves.
It's fun. The fun factor now over there is crazy.
Well, the great thing is it's like you can get 32,000 more people into the football school stadium than a basketball school's arena.
Yeah, and they're talking about, and they should, adding seats and maybe blowing up the old press box a little bit. And you know where the money is. It's in luxury suites, so, try to get a little more. But stadium looks cool now. It is, and it looks cool full. And I never got to experience that. Never was full.
Signetti Stadium. How long until they're going to rename it Signetti Stadium?
Let's let them win a playoff game first, and then maybe
that's what it'll do. Okay,
sculpting.
I think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Signetti parking garage. Start small.
Any truth to the rumor that the reason the spread is coming down is because you put a lot of your vast estate on Penn State?
No truth to that at all. But it's funny, Anthony, because this number, when it came out, was 20.5, right?
Yeah.
And it's actually ticked up to 21 during the week. I even saw it at 21.5. And then now throughout the last couple of days, we've seen it come back down to 18.5. And I know the question is why? Why is it moving? Now, the crazy thing about this line is if you look at the look ahead before the season started, okay, I want you guys to just kind of guess what you think that line was.
I know what it is, so I'm not going to guess.
Before the season started, what this
Okay,
what
so
this line
before
would be.
the season started,
5.
Penn State was ranked higher than Ohio State, correct?
Well, they were 2 and 3.
All right, so but Penn State was above. Now, the road thing. I'll tell you, to me, I'd be shocked if it was any more than 4.5.
It was 3.5.
Yeah,
Ohio State was a 3.5 point favorite in the look-ahead line. And so when you come out with a line where it's over 20 and it got to 21.5, you see a lot of people that took that preseason line of Ohio State minus 3.5, and you see people taking the Penn State plus 21.5, and you have a lot of liability of what you and I like to call a whopper, which is what most people call a middle.
And I think it probably is affected by the fact that Penn State looked like a real team their last time out. They looked like an absolute joke against UCLA and Northwestern, and then they fired James Franklin. They come out with nothing to lose. Yeah, they lost to Iowa, but they lost by 1 point at Kinnick. They actually played pretty well.
But they blew it also.
They did.
Look at it.
So here's the story, though. You go back and you watch that game. The Penn State offense was horrendous in that game. They weren't doing anything. The reason why that game was so close is right before halftime, Iowa was lining up to kick like a 53-yard field goal. It got blocked, and Penn State returned it all the way.
Right.
And so that was a big factor in that game and why that game stayed so close. It wasn't because the Penn State offense was moving the ball up and down the field, which leads me to what I think the best bet of the entire day is, and that is under team total points for Penn State. Yeah. If you had to guess at what that number would be, what do you think it is? That Vegas is setting the number on total points for Penn State today?
11.5.
Okay. Tim?
9.5.
Anthony?
I'll split it 10.5.
Okay. See, the number is actually 13.5.
Okay.
Oh, I love that.
Under 2 touchdowns.
All right, guys, give me a minute. I need to make a bet.
Right?
I mean, let me ask you this.
Wouldn't you be shocked if Penn State scores
14? Yes.
You would. If you loved Ohio State at 20.5, you're loving it now that it's going the other direction. Now, for you and I, yes, the number moving matters, but it hasn't crossed the key area yet, right? It never got. It's not at 21.5, and it's not at it's 16.5. So we're not at a key situation. But what they want to do is run the football today and shorten the game. So you're right. It's the red zone defense of Ohio State against a very inexperienced quarterback. You would be surprised unless you get what we've had in the Ohio State-Penn State series over the years. Weird special team stuff. They actually have a kicker. Like, Barker's actually a good kicker. Now, getting to 14 is different, but punching in it against Ohio State, usually you got to throw it in to score against Ohio State.
And Grunkemeyer, as you were saying, alluding to, he didn't look terrible against Iowa, but he threw for under 100 yards. And now Iowa's got a good defense. their defense isn't as good as Ohio State's. And it's a cool story. His mom played basketball for the Lady Bucks back in the day. Local kid from Olentangy making a second career start. But this Ohio State defense is elite.
You guys are all talking whimsy. Ohio State has given up 4 touchdowns and just 5 field goals so far this year.
They're the best defense in the country,
and that's
period.
Why when I'm handicapping this game, I don't understand why the number is coming down.
No.
Because you look at it, and I think this is going to be another game where I don't think the opponent's scoring double digits. I mean,
I agree.
So let's say Ohio State holds Penn State under 10, which all of us probably believe
I got them right around 10.
Then to cover the spread, all you need is for Ohio State to score 28, right? And so you feel like pretty good that Ohio State's going to score at least 28 points
against a Jim Knowles defense.
And there's also that factor.
Was that an insult or a compliment?
Are you going to want to run it up on Jim Knowles?
Right.
Well, that's
what I was talking to Jim Lachey about a while ago.
Yes, you are.
In so many words.
Yes. And Ryan Day's not going to go overboard with that, but I do think he wants to prove a point. What do I mean by that?
Yes.
He's not going to have his starters out there late if the game is out of hand and risk injury. They're not going to try and risk injury and hurt themselves in the long term. But he's going to still try and prove a point to Jim Knowles, which is another reason I like Ohio State to cover the spread today.
And by the way, let's get to the brass tacks. So what's your play in this game?
My number one play.
If you're advising
under
somebody.
13.5.
Number one play is
Financial
under
advisor.
team total points for Penn State under 13.5. There's actually even a way you can move that number to under 11.5 and get plus money doing it. And I think that is a great play.
What's your big play tonight? What's your big play today that you think could be the real eye-opener tomorrow?
You and I were
or
talking
late tonight
a little bit off air about Oklahoma and Tennessee.
Yeah.
And I think there's a few fraudulent teams in the SEC, one of them being Tennessee. And the big reason for that is Tennessee hasn't played anybody, and they have a terrible defense. Whereas you look at Oklahoma has faced tough teams for about 6 weeks in a row now, and they have a really good defense. So I think Oklahoma getting points in that game is a little surprising to me.
Yeah.
I think that's more of a
aren't you curious about Mateer and whether he's kind of lost it? I mean, they maybe brought him back too early to play against Texas, and he just hadn't been the same guy.
Yeah, that was a mistake. And you bring up Texas, and I can't wait to keep an eye on that Texas-Vanderbilt game, because I think that's a huge one. Again, Texas is still sitting there with 2 losses, right? One more loss, and they are completely out of the playoff race. But I think that they win today against Vanderbilt.
And the curious thing is, Vanderbilt won last week. Big win last week.
Yep.
Pavia had a very mediocre game from a stat standpoint and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see what they can do offensively against Texas. I mean, it's going to be because their defense, Vanderbilt's defense, I think, is underrated.
Well, and it's a situational spot game, right? So Vanderbilt has had 2 huge emotional home wins in a row, and now you're going on the road. So I think that's going to be a tough one for Vanderbilt. I like Texas today. And, guys, I got to bring this up. You were in Bloomington last week. You bring up the national championship odds. Now, Ohio State plus 225 to win it all. The second most likely team to win it all, based on the odds now, the Indiana Hoosiers. And one other thing, I wanted to update the betting odds on the next Penn State head coach.
We're in crazy times.
There is a new favorite now this week because Matt Rule had his extension with Nebraska, which is kind of crazy. I think Penn State fans should actually be happy that Matt Rule got that extension. But the new betting favorite, do you know it?
I don't know. Can I guess?
Yes.
Mike Elko.
No.
Jeff Brom.
Jeff Brom is.
Absolutely.
Mike Elko would be the ultimate
Here's the thing. People are like, why would Elko leave A&M? Where did Elko go to college? Penn, University of Pennsylvania. Where's he from? Jersey. I think he would leave A&M for Penn State if the money was right.
And that would be a grand slam for Penn State. But the betting favorite, Anthony's right, is Jeff Brom. Number 2 on the odds, Brian Hartline.
Wow.
Yep. That's just your betting
odds. That would be unbelievable.
Put your money on Elko.
That would be unbelievable if in 2 straight years Penn State hired Ohio State's defensive coordinator and then hired Ohio State's offensive coordinator,
Hartline's not
who's
going
never
there.
been a head coach.
I like the value on Elko. He's going to be the guy.
I don't see it happening.
Number 3 is Eli Drinkowitz. Number 4, Matt Campbell. Those are your betting odds for next Penn State head coach.
All right, we've elevated you now to financial advisor.
I like that. Woo, let's go.
That's week to week.
Interior decorator, too. You should see his man cave.
You're our fiduciary.
He can do a little bit of everything.
You're our fiduciary wager guy.
Okay. I like all
Should
these
we send our money to his office or his mansion?
Yeah.
Which one?
Exactly. His vast estate. That's what I want to see.
You can't bet on Ohio State's injuries, though, today.
We will have an injury report next for Ohio State, and we'll see if there's anything that stands out to us. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Fan Tailgate Show. Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Riverside Bank of Dublin Game Day Traffic Center.
Traffic has definitely picked up on 315 north and southbound, specifically around the Lane Avenue and Ackerman Road exits. On the northbound side, you'll start to see some brake lights, especially in the right lane, starting at the King Ave Medical Center exit, and that continues through Ackerman Road. On the southbound side, you'll start to see volume pick up in the hospital curve, and those brake lights start around Ackerman Road. Once you're off the highway, Lane Avenue is a really crowded spot right now between High and Kenny. With Game Day traffic, I'm Kate Burdett on the Fan.
Hi, Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Coming up, more football talk on the Fan.
That's right, Bob. And just like our hometown team, Worthington Jewelers is all about tradition, family, and winning moments.
Celebrate your victories with us, your hometown jeweler, Worthington Jewelers.
At Kemba Financial Credit Union, we care about you. Consumers like you say they don't want monthly fees for checking, and we listen. Introducing hassle-free checking with no monthly service fee. Use it as an easy place to deposit and transfer your money, along with your everyday banking needs. Plus, Kemba's expansive digital banking services make it easy for you to bank how you want. At Kemba, we're always thinking of ways to put you and your finances first. Visit Kemba.org. Federally insured by NCUA. Restrictions apply.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Around here, it's all or nothing, and Toyota has more all-wheel drive choices than anybody, like the family-size Highlander and the bigger, more powerful Grand Highlander. Now through November 3rd, get a new 25 Highlander or Grand Highlander with 4.75 APR financing. Or you can get 5.75 APR financing on hybrid models with approved credit through TFS. Plus, you get 2 years no-cost maintenance. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
We're back to football talk, but before we kick off, a quick thanks to Bob and the team at Worthington Jewelers.
Thanks, Common Man. Whether it's game day or every day, we're here to help you celebrate life's biggest moments.
Worthington Jewelers, your hometown jeweler.
What he said.
Relationship benefits at KeyBank reward you for things you were going to do anyway, like using your KeyBank checking account 5 times each month. You could unlock higher interest rates, more cash back, and loan discounts. Now, imagine getting rewarded for other things you were going to do anyway, like high-fiving.
Yes.
Calling your mom. Hello. Or petting cute dogs. If only. Learn how simple it is to get benefits when opening a checking account at key.com/relationship. KeyBank opens doors. All credit products subject to credit approval. KeyBank, member FDIC.
Hey Columbus, it's Lorenzo Stiles Jr., Ohio State student athlete. It's football season, and just like on the field, success starts with the right game plan and the right team. That's why I'm proud to team up with Monogram Homes. They're the true custom home builder, bringing precision, creativity, and attention to every detail, just like we do on Saturdays. If you're ready to build, don't settle for standard. Go custom. Go Monogram. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building today. Monogram Homes, a builder you can trust.
Plumbers, pipe fitters, welders, and HVAC techs. It's time to get what you deserve. Join a team that offers better wages, secure pensions, employee-paid health care, and free training and continuing education. Apprentices, you'll earn while you learn. No student debt, just a solid future. It's more than a job, it's a career. Visit UALocal189.com and take the first step today.
Football season's heating up, and so are the deals at Germain Toyota. Right now, drive home a rugged 2025 Toyota Tacoma with 2.99% APR for up to 48 months, or go big with the all-new 2026 Toyota Tundra, also 2.99 APR for up to 72 months. Built tough, built smart, built for whatever your game day brings. Find your next Toyota at Germain Toyota at the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or start your next adventure online at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota of Columbus. See dealer for details.
Love football, love wings. Put those bad boys together and you get Austin and Vern live at Roosters.
Presented by Bryant Heating and Cooling.
Large amounts of football and all the donkey sauce you can handle. Mondays on the Fans YouTube channel. Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. This is the Fans Game Day Scoreboard.
This game day update is sponsored by Mutual Federal, proudly serving Columbus with personal and business solutions at mutualfederal.com.
And I'm Cole Bartemus. We're counting down to Big Noon kickoff where your top-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes will welcome a beleaguered Penn State team to the shoe. We got pregame coverage right here on the Fan, leading all the way up to Paul and Jim's call of the game. Also at noon, number 9 Vanderbilt will be in Austin taking on number 20 Texas. Vanderbilt's only got 1 loss on the season while Texas has 2, so if they lose to the Commodores today, they're done for good. We got 2 other ranked matchups today going on. Josh Heupel's 14th ranked Volunteers will host his alma mater in number 18 Oklahoma, and that'll be a battle of 6-2 teams at 7:30. And way later at 10:15 this evening, number 17 Cincinnati will be in Salt Lake as somewhat heavy underdogs against number 24 Utah. All the rankings that you've seen here today are temporary. This is the final week of prioritizing the AP poll. On Tuesday night, we'll be giving our first dose of the CFP rankings.
This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Tailgate Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Curtis & Associates and Mountain Dew.
Your forever flagship home of Ohio State Athletics, the Fan. It's time for the keys to the game.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
All right, back on campus, Anthony Rothman, Dave Biddle, Tim May. We are awaiting the Buckeyes to be doing their traditional walk from the Blackwell into the Skull Session. They got the tunnel of fans lined up. We talked about the spread a little bit. We'll do injuries here in a sec. Yes, the spread is coming down a little bit. 18.5 points is still a lot of points. And, when I'm asked, why do you think it's coming down? This is such a layman. Penn State wants to try to run the ball and shorten the game. And if they can make a couple of big plays defensively, or at least stop some drives, they could maybe keep it within 18.5. That wouldn't be crazy to think about.
This is still a talented team.
It's still a three-score spread.
They have NFL players on that team. Katron Allen will play in the NFL for a long time, in my opinion, at running back. Like Danny's Sutton, is it Sutton Davis? I always get it mixed up.
Dennis Sutton?
Yeah, there you go. He's going to play in the NFL. They have other guys that are going to play in the NFL.
Absolutely.
So this is a talented team that's playing with nothing to lose. Everybody's writing them off. So they're going to, as Ryan Day said, they have to expect the unexpected this week. They had the bye week. Ohio State had the bye week too, but I think with Kolonicki, the offensive coordinator for Penn State, sometimes he can be a little too creative. In my opinion, I have no doubt that they're going to have a lot of new tricks up their sleeve. But, man, good luck against this Ohio State defense.
Well, and I do think that that's the way you could tip this thing against them big time. If Ohio State's defense gets a strip sack, has an interception or two, gets a tipped pass, something that goes the other way against a very inexperienced quarterback making only a second start and on the road in front of 100,000 plus. All right.
Yeah, you can't always count on those kind of plays.
No, you can't.
But what you can count on is Ohio State intimidating him from a mental standpoint.
That's right. And what I always, PSU, Pick 6 University, it's been that way in this rivalry over the years.
That's very true. And looking at the availability report that just got released by Ohio State, again, this deep into the season, Ohio State is an extremely healthy football team. No starters are out, and even the guys that are, second teamers, third teamers, there's only 3 of those guys that are out. Those would be Logan George at defensive end. He was out a couple weeks ago at Wisconsin as well.
He's been out.
Wide receiver Quincy Porter, who's going to be an absolute stud here. He's out. That's the first time I think he's been on the availability report this year, Tim.
Right.
I don't know if he got banged up against Wisconsin or if he got banged up in practice. And then Malik Hartford, junior safety Malik Hartford is out today, which would allow, you would think, Fahim Delane, a true freshman, to perhaps be the first safety off the bench, although Caleb Downs and Jalen McClain do not leave the field when the game is still on the line. So, geez, this deep into the season, Ohio State is extremely healthy.
Yeah, and Jalen McClain, in my opinion, has been one of the real bust-out players this year who's stepped up, who's going to take Lathan Ransom's place. Hey, Jalen McClain's playing a big time. I mean, he caused that interception 2 weeks ago and stuff that they really flipped that game at Madison. Not that it wasn't going to be flipped sooner or later.
Right.
But the interesting thing, Quincy Porter's the guy who was really making strides. I mean, he was in there early and often 2 weeks ago and stuff. So in that wide receiver core. So we'll see how that goes for them from a depth standpoint. He gets a little more playing time. But like we talked about, the last time they played, it was good to see Brandon Ennis finally really get off the schneid and make some plays offensively and stuff. And so there's a guy who could really rise today, in my opinion.
And it's always interesting, guys, like who's not on the availability report, meaning they are available. Bryson Rogers was not available a couple weeks ago. He's available today.
Right.
So now if you're not in the top 3 wide receivers, we know it's going to be tough sledding you getting on the field. Quincy Porter did get on the field, as Tim said, early in the game. A couple weeks ago, Mylan Graham's been getting a little bit of run. So today, if they do go to the bench at wide receiver, they have Bryson Rogers available. And I think Mylan Graham is a guy that would be ready to be a playmaker right now if they needed him to. They just happen to be the most loaded wide receiver room in the country, as usual.
Just think about this time a year ago when Donovan Jackson was going to be making his first start at left tackle. And Carson Hinsman was sliding in at guard. Seth McLaughlin still at center at that point and stuff. And Jonathan Jackson going against Abdul Carter and stuff. And just what a phenomenal day we witnessed over there at Happy Valley in terms of the way Donovan Jackson stepped up to the challenge, et cetera. So, Ohio State's been, knock on wood, lucky, if that's the right term, with injuries thus far this year, and we'll see how it pays off.
It's crazy. We're just so used to it because it happened. We've talked a lot about it, but in retrospect, last year, a couple games into the season, we said, who are the 2 offensive linemen Ohio State cannot afford to lose? You'd say, well, Josh Simmons and Seth McLaughlin.
Yeah.
They lose both those guys for the season. Everybody's like, oh, my gosh. Man. And then, if anything, the offensive line was a strength through the CFP run.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe not the last regular season game against those 2 stud D tackles that Michigan had, but like in the CFP, those guys.
Luke Montgomery was an MVP the way he played.
He wasn't even playing up
now
until
he's
then.
On a different level.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it.
Well, and the other thing about last year, which I remember pretty vividly, and I know he's kind of feast or famine with the PI penalties and all that, and what he can get away with and what he can't. But Davison Igbinosun had the interception of the year in that game that changed the complete complexion.
Yes.
The Penn State's going in to score, and he makes that miracle interception, and it led to a really dramatic win.
And then later, Caden McDonald and company with the goal line stand, which was a goal line stand of the year, up until Jack Sawyer's strip sack run. But yeah, Caden McDonald also, man. I mean,
he's so good.
And now he's a mainstay. And what we're all curious about is how much Edric Houston is going to play more of maybe this week than he has the last couple of weeks. And but the guy who's really come on is Tywan Malone, man.
He has, man.
They really needed that, and they've gotten it so far.
Keys to the Game, sponsored by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. When we come back, a final check-in with the voice of the Buckeyes and our score predictions. The Toyota Fan Tailgate Show, presented by Mountain Dew, right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Riverside Bank of Dublin Game Day Traffic Center.
The stadium gates opened just a few minutes ago, and pedestrian traffic is definitely picking up in the area of Ohio Stadium. Keep an eye out for that. 315 north and southbound are moving, but crowded around the Lane Avenue and Ackerman Road exits. Lane Avenue very busy between High Street and Kenny Road. Kenny Road is crowded from Ackerman to Kinnear. That same stretch of Olentangy River Road is also busy from Ackerman to Kinnear. With Game Day traffic, I'm Kate Burdett on The Fan.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me the sunshine, give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and a cool, refreshing mountain dew. So give me my good hands, give me a dew.
Grab some friends and an ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
Buckeyes, the 2025 football season is here, and that means three things: football, game day, and smooth Jameson whiskey. Whether you're catching the game at home, at your neighborhood bar, or soaking up the team spirit at a tailgate, Jameson Ginger and Lime and Ohio State Athletics are a winning combo. So cheers to making game days even better with the official whiskey of the fans. Jameson, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Taste responsibly.
Jameson Irish Whiskey, product of Ireland. 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Copyright 2025, imported by John Jameson Import Company, New York, New York.
The Ohio State University Army ROTC isn't just a curriculum. It's more than just a path to a degree. For more than 150 years, we have been forging tomorrow's leaders. Here you will find your purpose, your mission, your ROTC family. At Ohio State, you're not just joining Army ROTC, you're stepping into a history of excellence that spans generations. Learn more at arotc.osu.edu. Buckeyes lead the way.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Remember that rush you got as a kid ripping open your favorite pack of cards? Well, guess what? You can feel it again at Midwest Cards. Right next to Nationwide Arena, this place is a collector's dream with thousands of packs from all eras. Chase that Ken Griffey Jr. rookie, pull a rare Michael Jordan, or even hit your favorite Pokemon and relive that childhood thrill. Plus, you can shop their pack wall, kick back in their roomy sports lounge, or even bring in your old cards to sell or trade. Get to Midwest Cards today and tell them T-Bone sent you.
Hi, Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Coming up, more football talk on The Fan.
That's right, Bob. And just like our hometown team, Worthington Jewelers is all about tradition, family, and winning moments.
Celebrate your victories with us, your hometown jeweler, Worthington Jewelers.
This time of year, it's all or nothing, and Toyota's got all you need during Toyota Truck Month. Now through November 3rd, get 2.99 APR financing on a rugged new 25 Tacoma. Excludes TRD Pro and Trail Hunter. Or lease a well-equipped 25 Tacoma SR5 for $269 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Millions of fans agree. This Christmas tradition rocks. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert, presenting the Ghost of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more. December 23rd, 2 shows, Nationwide Arena. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Trans-Siberian Orchestra. A portion of the proceeds benefits the James and Heather Pick Music Program.
Ooh, winter's coming. And when the wind starts to blow, don't come inside to the cold. Open the door to peace of mind. With your Waterworks and Header Precision Furnace Tune-Up and Energy Savings Plan, your furnace is the heart of your home. And Waterworks and Header will have yours running at peak performance throughout the winter. Plus, you'll save on those energy bills too. Go to waterworks.com and schedule your furnace tune-up online. Waterworks and Header, heating, cooling, and plumbing. Together to serve you better.
We're back to football talk, but before we kick off, a quick thanks to Bob and the team at Worthington Jewelers.
Thanks, Common Man. Whether it's game day or every day, we're here to help you celebrate life's biggest moments.
Worthington Jewelers, your hometown jeweler.
What he said.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Partly sunny skies are in the forecast here for today. If you're heading out to the Buckeyes game, we're looking at temperatures to get up into the 50s here for this afternoon. Winds will be light out of the southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then for tonight, mostly cloudy and a few rain showers possible south of I-70. Lows down into the upper 30s to lower 40s. And then for your Sunday, partly sunny and back into the 50s here for the afternoon. We'll see more sunshine and upper 50s to lower 60s here by Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
The two most mature people working at the radio station. And that's just because they wear pants.
The pervert and the skivvies.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays at noon.
The Fan.
That was one hell of a game, huh?
Start ringing that victory bell. This is the Central Ohio Toyota Dealers Tailgate Show.
Visit Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And presented by Curtis and Associates and Mountain Dew.
Your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan.
All right, back at it, our final segment, and our Paul Keels final check-in is sponsored by Byers Imports. Byers Imports, Hamilton Road by the airport. All right, Paul, what's coming up?
Well, Anthony, as always, we'll hear from both coaches, Ryan Day from Ohio State and Penn State's interim coach, Terry Smith. Also, Keenan Bailey, tight ends coach. We'll talk about the production they've gotten out of their group. We'll hear from the legendary play-by-play voice of the Nittany Lions, Steve Jones, talking about how things have been with Penn State during this tumultuous month of October that has just ended. Former Ohio State quarterback Craig Krenzel will share his thoughts on the passing of former Ohio State center Nick Mangold. Tyler Danberg will talk with Ohio State safety Caleb Downs about what's transpired so far this season. And as always, we'll have our award-winning, world-famous Happy Halloween, November to Remember, Fall Classic, Tubby's Drive-In, Run, Joey, Run, Tickle the Lion version of Buckeye Flashback with a Hall of Famer, Skip Mossick. That's who's just a riot. You have no idea how funny this man is.
Guy's Henny Youngman up there. He's got one-liners.
But that's what's coming up, fellas.
All right, Paul. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
You got it.
All right, that is the voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels, and this is the Kurgis and Associates Fan Tailgate Show. Remember, they don't get paid unless you get paid. Speaking of getting paid, we've talked about the point spread a lot today and the fact that it was at 20 or 20.5, which, by the way, would have, I think, broken the record for the largest spread in this series.
That would make sense.
I believe. The fact it's come under that, it won't be a record probably at kickoff unless something weird happens. And I know that, and Tim talked about this, about that they're never really out of a game, that Penn State certainly, even against some subpar teams, have been close. So I'm not going to give them credit for playing UCLA close or Northwestern close. That's not what they're measured by. However,
they didn't give James Franklin credit.
But they played Oregon close,
sure.
They did,
and they played Iowa, and now with this new iteration, they looked good against Iowa at Kinnick. They blew it at the end, but they really outplayed Iowa at Kinnick, and Iowa's a good team this year.
Four losses by a total of 13 points. Yeah, I understand maybe why the 18.5 seems maybe appropriate today of where we are in this. I just keep coming back to, if I'm Ohio State, I load up today and I bring the house at this kid. And I know the priority is stopping the run, but you're dealing with a quarterback who's making his second start ever on the road in that building. You got to put the game in his hands if you can. I know that's not Penn State's strategy. They want to run the ball and move the chains and pick their spots where they try to throw the football. But I'll be very curious how Ohio State's defense, how aggressive they are at the beginning of this game.
And they got to take Katron Allen out of this game. If he gets going, he's a really good running back. And like as I was saying earlier, I was always flummoxed that James Franklin would split carries almost equally between Allen and Singleton. Well, the new coach has come in and is like, no, Allen's our guy. He had a ton of carries this past game against Iowa. A career high. So they clearly know, this new staff, you know what I mean? They know that Allen is their bell cow. Now, Singleton's still dangerous. It's still a very good 1-2 punch, but they're going to try and get Katron Allen involved. But I agree with you, Anthony. It doesn't necessarily have to be sacks, but they have to make Grunkemeyer uncomfortable, make it nervous.
That's the main thing. I mean, I think Ohio State's going to stick to its knitting in terms of what it's been, because it's been very effective against every offense they've played this year, is, show 4, sometimes show 5, bring 5 occasionally and stuff, but you cannot let Penn State establish a run game on a consistent basis. Penn State's going to have some new stuff. They're going to have some success off and on, I do believe. But this Ohio State defense, its calling card is the ability to adjust, sometimes on the fly, definitely between series. So I would think against this young quarterback, what the main thing you don't want to have him going for him is a running game to lean on. And so they'll be keen on that. I think Ohio State feels like it matches up very well with their wideouts, with their tight end. So you can play pretty conventional in terms of the secondary and then get after Grunkemeyer with whatever it takes from a mental standpoint and a physical standpoint.
Yes, the matchup is in their favor for sure. But these games tend to get a little bit more fundamentally sound, meaning that they get physical.
Right.
That this is a pride game for Penn State. I'm sure they will be instructing their guys in the trenches to take on this challenge. They are playing the number 1 team in the country in their building, something that they can hang their hat on if they stay in this game even and feel like they're playing for the interim coach and all that.
But Ryan Day wants, he says it, I know it's boring to some people. You want to get the W today, and if you get anything on top of that,
He's been saying that all year against everybody.
I know,
Yeah.
but that is the case.
No doubt.
We've seen throughout the country this year teams rise up for no reason, no good reason, except maybe where the moon phase is or something, and pull off upsets. So, this is a talented roster with Penn State, but also has a quarterback making just his second start, like you're talking about. You can't let him have a day like the O'Connell kid or whatever.
Tyler O'Connor, Lima Catholic.
Way back
Another
in
Ohio
2015.
kid. Although this young man's a local kid. His mom played basketball at Ohio State. He grew up an Ohio State fan, so I think other than today, Ohio State fans are going to be rooting for this kid. But this is an interesting way for him to make his homecoming.
But they have nothing to lose. Like you're talking about, they have nothing to lose, so why not come in, throwing it all out there?
Exactly.
Because they've already got 4 losses. I mean, it's not going to get a whole lot worse than it is now for Penn State.
So we've talked about that before. With most teams this year that Ohio State plays will have, quote, nothing to lose because Ohio State's the number 1 team in the country. But coaches don't. It's hard for coaches to think that way because if they strategize and call plays for nothing to lose early, you're going to lose very quickly.
Yes.
And so there are teams that have decided to say, hey, let's treat this game like we have to treat it, which is our strengths, their strengths, and strategize to that. These defenses have decided we're not letting guys get behind us. Now, Parnell Tate's making catches over 2 people.
Correct.
So sometimes it doesn't matter. But I think the most impressive thing with Ohio State right now is they're taking what defenses are giving them. And they're marching down the field whether they have to do it by pass or run. I think today the gauntlet is down. People are saying for Penn State to stay in the game, it's their running game. Well, how about Ohio State's running game break out today and show that they can do that? Tim, your final score.
I'm going with Ohio State 31-9.
31-9er.
I am going with Ohio State 38-10.
I've got a 34-10 written down here, so we're all in that ball game. We're all under Scotty's total points for Penn State.
Yeah,
that's right. 13.5.
I can see Ohio State getting a defensive score, which changed my prediction, but you can't count on those.
Well, Pick 6 University.
There you go,
Might live up to it today.
That's right.
Tim May, Dave Biddle, I'm Anthony Rothman, Buckeye Nation. Enjoy football right here at home and keep it locked here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Riverside Bank of Dublin Game Day Traffic Center.
It's a busy time on the roadways around Ohio Stadium. Right now, Lane Avenue is pretty packed between High Street and Kenny Road. The stadium gates are open, and that's increased pedestrian traffic in the area as well. 315 north and southbound are moving. You're getting crowded around the Lane Avenue and Ackerman Road exits on the northbound side of 315. You'll see some brake lights starting at about the King Ave Medical Center exit. Southbound, the brake lights start around Ackerman. With game day traffic, I'm Kate Burdett on The Fan.
Attention Buckeye fans. BuckeyeSportsAuctions.com is live this November with authentic Buckeye gold pants, player-awarded championship rings, and on-field game-worn helmets, jerseys, and other unique collectibles. Register now at BuckeyeSportsAuctions.com.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman here for Germain Honda of Dublin. So what's the difference? There are other Honda dealers around. Well, Rich Newsom and his team want to earn your trust. They don't expect it, and they earn it by giving you a great price, and then they back it up after the sale with same-day service, no appointment necessary, a great variety of brand new Hondas, and hundreds of pre-owned certified Hondas to choose from, all at the same location. Identify yours at GermainHondaofDublin.com. Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
Buckeye fans, introducing Behind the O, the brand new app packed with original athlete and fan-driven Ohio State sports content. It's free to download in the App Store on iOS and Android, and every time you open it, you're helping generate NIL dollars for your favorite Buckeye athletes with zero cost to you. Get exclusive access to fresh behind-the-scenes videos, training routines, athlete lifestyles, and more from every Ohio State sport. Don't wait. Download Behind the O now and get closer to your Buckeyes than ever before.
Behind the O, free for fans, NIL for athletes. Buckeyes, the 2025 football season is here, and that means 3 things: football, game day, and smooth Jameson whiskey. Whether you're catching the game at home, at your neighborhood bar, or soaking up the team spirit at a tailgate, Jameson Ginger and Lime and Ohio State Athletics are a winning combo. So cheers to making game days even better with the official whiskey of the fans. Jameson, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Taste Taste responsibly.
Jameson Irish Whiskey, product of Ireland. 40% alcohol by volume, 80 proof. Copyright 2025, imported by John Jameson Import Company, New York, New York.
The Sonic Temple Art and Music Festival returns May 14th through 17th with My Chemical Romance, Tool, Bring Me the Horizon, and Shinedown. Plus, Pierce the Veil, Good Charlotte, The Offspring, Sublime, Godsmack, Breaking Benjamin, Marilyn Manson, and so many more. Sonic Temple in Columbus, Ohio, May 14th to 17th. Passes on sale now for as low as $1 down at SonicTempleFestival.com.
Aaron, I'm freaking out a little that you're giving away $500 in free repairs whenever someone buys a new water heater.
When people are faced with an unexpected expense, an unexpected gift helps restore balance to the universe.
Get Eco.
ECO. How many things can our plumbers do for $500 or less?
Tons of things.
Like what?
We can repair a toilet that's not working. We can replace a hose bib, install a utility sink or a vanity, run a water line to an appliance, replace a garbage disposal.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Replace a shutoff valve, fix an exposed water leak.
What's an exposed water leak?
It's one you can see. It's not inside a wall and it's not underground.
And we're going to do these sorts of things for free just because a person buys a water heater?
Yeah, for free.
Because we're restoring balance to the universe?
Balance to the universe.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Give it away, plumbers, genius electricians, and gonna make you cool again, HVAC technicians.
Whoo, go to GetEco.com.
This time of year, it's all or nothing, and Toyota's got all you need during Toyota Truck Month. Now through November 3rd, get 1.75 APR financing or $3,000 customer cash on a powerful new 25 Tundra. Excludes TRD Pro. Or lease a 25 Tundra SR Crew Max for $409 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Attention Buckeye fans.
BuckeyeSportsAuctions.com is live this November with authentic Buckeye gold pants, player-awarded championship rings, and on-field game-worn helmets, jerseys, and other unique collectibles.
Register now at BuckeyeSportsAuctions.com.
Always and forever your Ohio State flagship station.
WBNS FM HD1 Columbus.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. From Learfield, this is the AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show. Brought to you statewide by AEP Energy and by Encova Insurance on the Ohio State Sports Network. Presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State athletics. And brought to you locally by State Farm, your Central Ohio Toyota dealers, and by the Diamond Cellar. On your home of the Buckeyes, live and local weekdays beginning at 6 a.m. with T-Bone and Tybus on the Fan, Ohio sports destination. Along with Tyler Danberg, Skip Mossick, and former OSU All-American Jim Lachey, here's the voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels.
Well, it seems like it's been forever, but the Buckeyes are back at home the first time since October 4th, and the top-ranked Ohio State football team, coming off their second bye week, will entertain a Penn State team. Jim, this was a game that before the season was highly anticipated. The elements are a little different now.
Yeah, things have changed, certainly for Penn State. Ohio State's kind of kept their end of the bargain up, being 7-0 at this point. And everybody thought maybe Penn State would be in that same category, but falling on hard times, but no one's blown them out. They've been in every ball game. They've lost 4 games by 13 points. Right now, Penn State comes into Ohio State with nothing to lose, so we'll see a full package of whatever they got to do, and they've had 2 weeks to work on this tool. 2, Julian Sain is coming off his best game of his career last time against Wisconsin. Threw the ball all over the field. Wide receivers Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate, Brandon Ennis really stepped up. Our defense came with a shutout. Did what they had to do on that side of the ball, and let's face it, you got to play your best football in November, and guess what? Today's November 1st. It's time for Ohio State to live up to that adage of playing their best football, and this is a team that we've seen every year for 32 years. We might not see them again until 2028 unless it's a playoff type situation.
Yeah, down on the field, Tyler Danberg, this is an ideal day for football.
It really is. They're expecting highs of about 51 degrees, sun-splashed afternoon. There actually was a 3% chance of snow this morning, but that's going to be on its way out. But a great afternoon for football and a great environment expected because you said first home game in almost a month. They're going to have a blackout around the shoe. A lot of fans dressed in black trying to channel some energy for this football game.
Be sure to check out the Buckeye Game Day Concert Series presented by the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer before every Ohio State home game this season outside of St. John Arena at Buckeye Fan Fest. Each week features a different artist or band performing 2 hours before kickoff. Get on board and book your cruise today. Visit BuckeyeCruise.com. Go Bucks and beat cancer. Coming up next, Skip Mossick will have today's Buckeye Football Flashback presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center as our AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show continues on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hosting a passionate crew of Buckeye fans? Revamp your rec room for an epic watch party with power reclining sofas, massaging recliners, entertainment centers, and coffee tables from Bob's. They even have sofas with drop-down tables for snacks and bevs. Shop in-store or online to score big on an incredible game day setup at Bob's everyday low prices. Bob's Discount Furniture, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Now, the officials have been talking for quite some time.
All righty, let's see what they have to say.
Upon further review, there is no penalty on the play. However, we have conferred and discovered that Bob, the line judge, has saved a boatload for his kids' college using Ohio's 529 plan. It is tax-free, accepted nationwide. Bob recommends we all go to collegeadvantage.com. First down.
Well, that's not entirely unexpected.
Classic Bob.
As America's largest custom home builder, Schumacher Homes believes a top-quality home should be affordable for everyone in the Buckeye State. We work with the leading architects to bring you the latest in design, and then you have the ability to make changes. Not just selecting finishes, but moving walls, adding rooms, literally customizing anything from the ground up. It's a misconception that custom homes have to be expensive. We work within your budget to build an amazing home on your land. Visit SchumacherHomes.com or any of our 9 Ohio locations.
Hear every Buckeye game every year. The Fan. Now back to the AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Ohio State and Penn State coming up at noon. Time for today's Buckeye Football Flashback presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center. Today we go back 19 years to September 23rd, 2006, as top-ranked Ohio State played host to 2-1 Penn State. It was an overcast, rainy day in Columbus and made for a sloppy first half that featured 7 punts, 2 interceptions, and 2 missed field goals before the Lions were able to take advantage of an Ohio State penalty on a missed field goal attempt to get on the board as time expired in the first half.
So let's say a 20-yard field goal trying an untimed down. The ball's down, and the left footer Kelly kicks. It is up, and it is good. So Penn State takes advantage of the penalty, and they get the field goal on the untimed down. The Nittany Lions have a 3-0 lead.
The third quarter began just as badly for Ohio State with a turnover on their first possession, and when the Lions missed another field goal, Ohio State's offense was finally able to put a drive together.
Hands off Pittman behind a blocker right side, gets to the 10, to the 5, to the 2, and taken down. No, touchdown. Anthony Scarrato, the safety, almost had a shot at taking him down short, but Pittman fights his way to the end zone. And Ohio State, for the first time today, leads the game 6-3.
The low-scoring affair would continue into the fourth quarter before the Ohio State offense was able to hit pay dirt again.
Fakes passing, rolling, now rolling wide to the right. He's at the 50. Reverses his way to the left at Penn State's 45. Now tosses long toward the end zone for Rubisky. Got it for 6. Brian Robisky, his first collegiate touchdown catch. Got by Tony Davis, the corner. But how about Troy Smith pirouetting away from the defenders behind the 50-yard line? And Brian Robisky with a touchdown catch, putting Ohio State ahead 13-3.
Penn State was able to tack on another field goal to cut Ohio State's lead to 14-6 before the Buckeye defense stepped up with a huge play.
Back to throw from his 36, lobs it long on the right side, intercepted Jenkins at his own 45. Jenkins left side to the 50, to the 40 of Penn State, down the sideline to the 30, to the 20, Jenkins, to the 10, to the house. Malcolm Jenkins picks off the pass from Morelli.
And soon afterwards, the Buckeye defense would strike again to put the game out of reach.
Fires right side, intercepted Antonio Smith. And here he goes down the left sideline. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Antonio Smith. Yo, baby, the defense has really shown up strong here in the fourth quarter.
And that's the way it would end on an overcast, rainy day in Columbus, where conditions were so bad that the team's combined punting yards trailed total offensive yards by just 7. But top-ranked Ohio State was able to defeat Penn State 28-6, September 23rd, 2006. Today's flashback was presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics. Coming up, we'll check your college football schedule for today as the AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show continues on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
We have acres of brand new Chevys, Chryslers, Jeeps, Dodges, and Ram vehicles, as well as used cars and trucks that you're looking for at the Jeff Weiler Columbus Auto Mall in Canal Winchester. And if we don't have what you're looking for, we can find it at one of our 23 other locations. So come shop the lot or view over 2,000 cars right at your fingertips at JeffWeilerColumbusAutomall.com. Plus, use Weiler Direct to see monthly payments, value your trade, and get pre-approved. Rooted in family, driven by you.
The great thing about Atlas Butler is they do it all. Heating, cooling, plumbing. Look, I'm busy with work. I don't have time to wait around or deal with lots of people. One company, one call, and they do it all. Wonder if they'll clean out my inbox. Seriously, offer that service. Please.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
Tailgate like a champ with Giant Eagle. What you eat on game day is as important as what happens on the field. Whether you're watching from the stadium or from home, Giant Eagle has everything you need to get ready for kickoff. Get prepared foods in a flash. Grab enough snacks and drinks to feed an entire team. And stack your cart with fresh groceries like grill-ready meat and seafood. Giant Eagle, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Buckeye fans, AEP Energy is redefining the game with renewable energy plans for your home or business. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. It's Ohio State and Penn State kick just past 12 noon. Up next, we'll check your college football schedule for today as our AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show continues on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Around here, it's all or nothing. And Toyota's got more all-wheel drive choices than anybody. Now through November 3rd, get 4.75 APR financing on remaining new 25 Corolla gas models. Excludes GR and Corolla Cross. Or lease a gas-powered 26 Corolla LE for $209 a month for 36 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
They're trained. They're prepared. Let's do it. They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Your Ohio State flagship station, The Fan. This is the AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show on the Ohio State Sports Network. Presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Back at Ohio Stadium, Skip Mossick with a check of your college football schedule for today. We'll start you with the Big Ten. Just one other game kicks at noon in conference. Rutgers will play at Illinois. Knights coach Greg Schiano says he's impressed with Illinois quarterback Luke Altmaier.
Their quarterback is a special player, right? I mean, we saw him last year. He can make every throw, his arm, he can do it from every arm angle. He's athletic. He extends plays. He creates plays. He really is a fine quarterback, an experienced quarterback, that doesn't make many mistakes.
Two games kick at 3:30. Michigan State plays at Minnesota. Meanwhile, second-ranked Indiana is at Maryland. Terrapin coach Mike Locksley likes Indiana's running attack led by a familiar face in former Terp Roman Hemby.
Roman you can tell they're every down back. They throw it to him. He's, as a runner, Roman, as we know, is a home run hitter, that if you give him a crease, it will and can go. And so we got to do a great job of gap soundness, contain, and tackling.
This evening, Purdue is at Michigan. Nebraska hosts USC. Early games in the top 25 has Vanderbilt playing at Texas. Miami travels to SMU. Houston plays host to West Virginia. Just one other game this afternoon around the state. 12 noon kick. Bowling Green plays host to Buffalo. Ohio State and Penn State kick just after 12 noon. Much more coming up from Columbus as our AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show continues on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
It's football season in the Buckeye State, and if your game plan for this season includes buying or selling a home, Howard Hanna has the answer, delivering a winning strategy for breaking down the game of real estate. Make your next move with confidence with exclusive programs just right for you. Get in the game with the #1 real estate brokerage in Ohio and let them help you with your next move. Howard Hanna is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Visit howardhanna.com/GoBucks today.
At Patron Tequila, we do things the right way. We use only the highest quality natural ingredients from start to finish. No sweeteners, no secrets, no compromises. For the perfect gathering, all you need is your friends, Patron in your favorite version, Reposado, Cristalino, or Silver, and time to enjoy it. Patron Tequila, 100% Blue Weber agave. The perfect way to enjoy Patron is responsibly. Handcrafted in Mexico, imported by the Patron Spirits Company, Coral Gables, Florida. Tequila, 40% alcohol by volume. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
Whatever happens today, take it on with a fresh cup of True Brew coffee. Now only $1 with True Rewards. True North Store's True Brew coffee is a hot, flavorful gourmet blend created from coffee beans from around the world. As a free True Rewards member, pick the size that is perfect for you and pay only $1. Don't have the True Rewards mobile app? Find it in the Apple or Google Play Store to download and save instantly. True North convenience stores. Fast, friendly, clean.
Always and forever your home of the Buckeyes. Home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. This is the AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show on the Ohio State Sports Network. Presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Fans, you can win a catered party for 20 during a Buckeye football away game this season, plus a behind-the-scenes tour of Ohio Stadium for 10 with the Giant Eagle Tailgates and Tour Sweepstakes presented by Pringles, Cheez-It, and Coca-Cola. Enter today at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/tailgates for your chance to win. And welcome back to Ohio Stadium. Ohio State and Penn State coming up kick just past 12 noon. Well, Ohio State All-American safety Caleb Downs is a huge part of the Buckeye defense's success the past 2 seasons. Downs, who has NFL family lineage, talks about his football family and more with our Tyler Danberg.
Caleb, you've got one word to describe the 2025 Ohio State defense. What would it be?
Elite. Just making yourself elite every day, pushing yourself with urgency. I mean, that's what elite is.
How do you build an elite defense? What did you guys do to get to where you are right now, and where do you want to be?
Really just taking advantage of every day since the spring, since we got here, pushing ourselves to learn and become better. And that's the biggest thing, just pushing yourself to be better every day.
Was there a moment where you felt like the defense clicked for the first time?
I mean, sometime during fall camp. I can't say necessarily like one moment or anything like that, but I mean, I feel like it's just been an ever-growing thing, and spring, fall camp, pushing ourselves to be better.
Coach Day was talking this week, Caleb, about how he went to you and Sonny Styles for feedback in the process of hiring the new defensive coordinator, which turned out to be Matt Patricia. What do you remember from those conversations?
Really just he was looking to find somebody that could teach us the defense and allow us to play at a high level and not have to go through a huge type of learning curve that would set us back. So I think it was a great thing that Coach P is a really good teacher and puts us in positions that we can go make plays and play fast.
What does he mean to you, Caleb?
I appreciate that man more than he knows. He's been a great teacher to me, allowed me to learn the game, and so is Coach Walt and Coach Guerrero, just pushing me every day to be my best self.
Talking to Ohio State safety Caleb Downs. If 2024 Caleb Downs were to watch film on 2025 Caleb Downs, what do you think he would see?
If I watched 2024, if I watched 2023, I would say get better. So he would probably say get better to the person that's right here.
How have you gotten better? Where do you feel like you've gotten better?
I mean, tackling's been a positive for me. Playing coverage and everything like that is always a positive. So I would just say just continue to refine the tools, continue to refine the things that make you good at playing defense, and go from there.
You come from a football family. Your brother, a wide receiver with the Colts. Your dad, a running back in the NFL. And your uncle, Trey Bly, defensive back. What did you learn from your uncle, a 2-time Pro Bowler?
Really just always work. Even when I was in high school, would go visit my brother at UNC, and he would take me through workouts and everything like that. I mean, he's always pushed me, always talked about playing at the highest level, and that's inspiring to know that you have somebody in your family that played at the highest level.
Your sister also played college soccer at Kennesaw State, big athletic family. Is there a moment or a story that sums up your family the best?
I mean, I would just say when I was a kid, not really understanding it, but before school, my dad would have us go run hills in our neighborhood, and I would be like, why are we doing this? This doesn't make sense. And yeah, but I feel like those really shaped who we are. All of us just continue improvement every day, which means Kaizen and pushing ourselves to be better.
Being the youngest of the three, who won those hill races?
Probably my brother, I'm gonna be honest. I was like 4, he was 7, so he was definitely older than me.
How does he push you? How do you push him?
I mean, he inspires me every time I watch his film. People doubt him. People don't necessarily think he's big enough to play, but Josh goes out there and does it every week, and that's inspiring to me.
It's Ohio State safety Caleb Downs with our Tyler Danberg. Coming up as we continue counting you down to Ohio State and Penn State, we'll get our Buckeye breakdown with Jim Lachey as the AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show continues on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, college football fans, it's sideline reporter Molly McGrath teaming up with Evan Williams Bourbon to welcome you to Bourbon Nation, the home of game day's #1 pour. We're celebrating every snap from coast to coast because it doesn't matter what colors you wear as long as Evan's there. Find a bottle near you at evanwilliams.com and enjoy the smooth, rich taste of my favorite Kentucky bourbon at your next tailgate. Go Buckeyes! Evan Williams Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, Bardstown, Kentucky, 43% alcohol by volume, must be 21 plus. Enjoy responsibly.
Hey, Ohio State fans! Next time that snack craving hits, Burger King has you covered with the O-Fry-O bundle. You get a medium fry, 8-piece chicken fries, 8-piece mozzarella fries, and an 8-piece chicken nuggets, all for just $10. It's perfect snack fuel for one, wherever and whenever you're cheering on the scarlet and gray. At BK, have it your way. You rule! Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Tax extra.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
I love the neighborhood where I grew up, but it was tough.
Ohio State National Championship quarterback and former CareSource kid, Cardale Jones.
Football helped me find my direction, but I also needed the right support system. Seeing that CareSource heart around town, I just knew they had my back. That's the kind of difference they still make in neighborhoods like mine. This is so much more than health insurance. CareSource, today and always. Trusted. Visit caresource.com.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to the AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State athletics.
Welcome back, everyone, to Ohio Stadium in Columbus. Absolutely perfect day for college football. 48 degrees, partly cloudy skies, temperatures climbing through the 50s as we make our way through Ohio State and Penn State. Time for today's Elk and Elk 2 Deep Report as we bring back in Jim Lachey. And Jim, many are expecting Penn State to try to run the football today. Take us through the D-line and I guess linebacker rotation that Ohio State may use to try to slow that running game down, and if that indeed what the Lions' game plan is.
Yeah, and I think if you're going to have 3 down linemen, you'll see Caden Curry, Caden McDonald, Kenyatta Jackson in there, and then both our linebackers up on the line of scrimmage. If they go 4 down, you'll see either Edric Houston come in or Will Smith Jr. Taiwan Malone has played a lot. Those guys will rotate in at that other defensive tackle position, trying to steer everything to our linebackers. And you got to think, if they go 2 tight ends, you'll see a lot of, Peyton Pierce, and he's got 25 tackles on the year. Our linebackers have been outstanding so far with, Arvell Reese, really coming into his own this year through the first 7 games. He's had a good start. Now he's got to continue on that path. And Sonny Styles, year 2 now being a starting linebacker. Started as a safety here at Ohio State, kind of moved out into the box, and he's been dominating at that position. So Matt Patricia's done a fabulous job of putting those guys in the right position. And, of course, James Laurinaitis coaching those guys up, has them doing what they need to do on a week-in and week-out basis. And they're going to have to be big again today going against these 2 running backs, Allen and Singleton with Penn State.
Our report was brought to you by Elk and Elk Injury Lawyers, dedicated to every client every day. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Time to talk some turnovers now, presented by the Waterworks, intercepting plumbing problems every day. Call now for service. And Jim, Coach Day told us Thursday the importance of getting some tipped balls and maybe creating some turnovers, which we saw Iowa have some success with a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, and again, that kind of goes to the length of our linebackers, with Sonny and Arvell both being around 6'4". They don't have to get there to affect the quarterback. They can put their hands up. They've both got long arms and tip passes, and usually when a pass is tipped up in the air, it's a great opportunity for the defense to come up and make some plays. And, Ohio State's been good. They're +5 in the turnover margin. And Penn State, for losing 4 in a row, they're still in a positive category. They're at +2, so they've gotten 2 more turnovers than they've turned the ball over on offensive side. So both those teams have done a pretty good job this year of creating turnovers and then taking care of the football on the offensive side.
Time for today's availability report now, brought to you by Aetna Medicare Solutions. Jim?
Yeah, I think the only new guy that's been on there is maybe Quincy Porter, number 11, a freshman wide receiver who's played sparingly. He's got 3 receptions on the year. He's on that report. all the other guys have been the similar guys that have been on that report. Really pretty healthy team, for week 7. We went through it last year when Josh Simmons got hurt against Oregon, and then a couple weeks later he lost Seth McLaughlin in practice to the Achilles injury before Indiana. But so far, knock on wood, it's been pretty good for Ohio State.
Our availability report was brought to you by Aetna Medicare Solutions, guidance for the Medicare protection you need. Jim Lachey, have a great broadcast this afternoon, okay?
All right, Skip.
Up next, we'll be rejoined by the voice of the Buckeyes, Paul Keels, as Ohio State gets ready for Penn State on the AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show here on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
The future of recycling is now at Rumpke Waste and Recycling. The recycling leader has opened North America's largest, most technologically advanced recycling center right here in Central Ohio. This one-of-a-kind facility features interactive displays, educational opportunities, and the ability to process over 60 tons of recycled material per hour. Rumpke is committed to recycling and sustainability efforts. And for more than 90 years, Rumpke has worked to make sure the items you place in your recycling bin get used again. Visit Rumpke.com to learn how you can team with Rumpke to put less trash in our landfills and more of it to good use.
Picture it. Your holiday table, the family cooking together, the scent of golden brown bread, rosemary from roasted potatoes, and a salad so crisp it snaps, spiced cider in every glass, laughter around every plate. At Kroger, we know these moments matter, and we make it easier to bring them to life with quality that's affordable in every aisle. This season, don't just host, make every moment unforgettable. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
James Peoples here, running back for the Ohio State Buckeyes. You have to check out the brand new AAA Buckeyes MVP membership. Get all the benefits of AAA, such as 24/7 roadside assistance, plus chances to win tickets to Buckeyes sporting events, access to exclusive MVP experiences, along with 10% off select gear at the Ohio State Team Shop. Already a AAA member? Add the Buckeyes MVP membership for free. Head to AAA.com/Buckeyes to upgrade or join the squad and put your fandom in drive.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Buckeyes are known for paying it forward. That's why Buckeyes Care strives to serve the betterment of our community by positively impacting families across Ohio. Joint partners American Electric Power, Kroger, Donato's, the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the James Cancer Hospital, Huntington Bank, and WBNS TV in Columbus, and supporting this cause at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Buckeyes Care. Right now, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Always and forever, your Ohio State flagship station.
WBNS-FM HD1 Columbus.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
It's Ohio State at home with Penn State today. Coming up next, reaction to the passing of a former Buckeye as our AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show continues on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
AgPro has been family-owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
Everyone loves Donato's legendary thin crust, but sometimes you want a little more to grab. That's where Donato's hand-tossed pizza comes in. Golden, delicious, and perfect for dipping in that ranch, marinara, or garlic butter sauce. For a limited time, get a large one-topping hand-tossed pizza plus dipping sauce for just $9.99. Order online using promo code MORE. Donato's. Gotta love more.
Hear every Buckeye game every year. The Fan. This is the AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show on the Ohio State Sports Network. Presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State athletics.
It's Ohio State at home with Penn State today. The passing of former Ohio State center Nick Mangold hit lots of people connected to him very hard. Among those, one of his teammates, former Ohio State quarterback Craig Krenzel.
Well, there's no question. I think, Paul, everybody is talking about it, right now, especially those of us that were, blessed to know Nick, to play with Nick. The number one thing you saw in him that was special was just attitude, personality, just kind of larger than life. I don't know too many people that I've met that are super chill, super laid back, but still have a larger than life personality. And, that was Nick. So, on the field, yes, his freshman year, it's, they're trying to figure out ways to get him to get him on the field, to get reps. Following that year, my senior year, Alex Stepanovich gets hurt, gets his ankle rolled up, misses, forget exactly how many weeks, 2-3 weeks or whatever. And next thing you know, enter Nick Mangold, starting center for the Buckeyes. And I never took a snap from Alex after that. So, on the field, off the field, everybody's saying it. No matter what article you click a link to right now, no matter what type of program you tune in, like this one right here, everybody's going to say the same thing. It's real. And he was as amazing as you can possibly ask for in a teammate.
Craig, as you talked about him as a freshman, especially on that national championship team, and especially with the other experienced offensive linemen, it had to be amazing to see a young guy immediately be able to have an impact like that.
Yeah, and it's kind of one of those things you look at him, and like a lot of other freshmen, it's like, who is this dude? And like a lot of other freshmen at the time, it's like, not the most. At least back in those days, Paul, it's like, you get some of these young offensive linemen, defensive linemen, they come in and they're kind of lean and super athletic, and a lot of them are wrestlers, and they come in weighing 270, 280 pounds, and next thing you know, poof, they're sophomores and they weigh 310. But, just lived bigger than he was, played bigger than he was, and, it was one of those things. It's like, how hard do you fight as a coaching staff to keep the kid off the field?
Good point. Like yourself and so many other teammates, you had a chance to play in the NFL. But when you saw what Nick did in the NFL, did that stand out to you, Craig?
Paul, I've known you for a long time. That might be the dumbest question you've ever asked. It's like, it's kind of one of those things. Center is it's not left tackle, right? Centers, guards, you're not a tackle in the NFL, so it's not as it's the second most, I guess, important position on the offensive line in terms of how most people view it, but really he's the quarterback of the offensive line. And I think that's where, obviously Nick was tougher than most, as tough as the toughest guy probably to ever play in the league, but so smart, right? As center, you have a quarterback of the offensive line, and to watch him do it year in and year out, and all pro, and obviously most people that have seen it will never forget when he was inducted into the Jets Ring of Honor, right? That moment, right? That scene was 100% unequivocally Nick Mangold, and he lived it, he wore it, and when you watched him play, when you watched him be celebrated that day, getting inducted into the Ring of Honor, and I think it's a no-brainer that we will watch his Hall of Fame induction speech, and the only thing that's undeserving about it is he's not going to be the one giving it.
That's Craig Krenzel talking about the passing of Nick Mangold. Also was sad this past week to lose Bob Maggs, former Ohio State center. Coming up next, we'll hear from Steve Jones, the play-by-play voice of the Nittany Lions, and we continue with our Buckeye pregame show on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Ready?
It doesn't matter if you're playing hard or working hard. Your workout only works out if you recover right. Chocolate milk helps you recover for what comes next. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refuel exhausted muscles. From biking to bench presses, Milk's protein helps you build lean muscle and gain more from your workouts.
Ready? Recover. Repeat. Brought to you by the American Dairy Association Mideast, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
He's at the 10, the 5, touchdown! Yeah! This is what the Buckeyes train so hard for.
Just like Valvoline Instant Oil Change, their techs train like pros to deliver expert service every time.
Wait, are we talking about football or oil changes?
Both. Whether it's the Buckeyes on the field or your car in the bay, it's all about preparation and precision.
Can't argue with that.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Visit VIOC.com/Buckeyes today.
You ever feel like your money is just lying around? Switch to Huntington Bank, and your money is always doing something.
Like what?
Like automatically pushing more to savings so you can take that trip.
I like trips.
Who doesn't? It even tracks your progress. You're almost there.
Wow, I better pack.
And it charts your spending so you know which vacation hat you can afford.
How does it know I like hats?
Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
Buckeye fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes those moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light, choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado, beer.
Buckeye football lives here. The Fan. This is the AEP Energy Buckeye pregame show on the Ohio State Sports Network. Presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics.
Welcome back to Ohio Stadium. It's the Buckeyes hosting Penn State, and the day got better because we had a chance to talk with a great one, Steve Jones, the voice of the Nittany Lions. How has your October been?
It's been interesting, my friend. It's been very interesting. It's not what anybody expected. I think everybody expected that Penn State would come in here at minimum 6-1, at maximum 7-0. You're leading in overtime at home at the end of September against Oregon. You've got a chance to win it, didn't win it. You go out to UCLA, you're on the 9-yard line with a chance to win it, don't win it. Then you're leading in the fourth quarter, against Northwestern, don't win it. Then you go leading in the fourth quarter at Iowa, don't win it. So you've been in this pattern now where they've lost the 4 games by 13 points. And needless to say, for Penn State, the stability which they've had over the last dozen years, right now, it's about as unstable as it's been in a while.
How do you factor in losing Drew Aller at quarterback, Steve?
Well, it does factor in because you have the youth at quarterback in Ethan Grunkemeyer. Look, Aller would come out here in an atmosphere like this today, and Paul, you and I both know he had no trouble handling it because of experience, right? Doesn't mean Ohio State wouldn't make plays against him, but he could handle the noise and the game speed. I'll say this, Grunkemeyer handled himself pretty well out at Iowa because you know how loud Kinnick can be. Handled it, played well, not great, but played well. I think being in that atmosphere will at least help him today and